Hey guys, and welcome to the MicroPod number 6, the first one of 2018. It's completely unscripted show tonight, which I'll probably show, but we've come in and we decided that we wanted to do a show where we would just general chit chat about gaming, where we've been, what we've done, and what's coming later this year. All the usual guys are in. Hopefully, Hebot will be joining us shortly. Great to see Insomnatech back with us as well because he had to miss the one just before Christmas. So yeah, here we go. One thing I did want to say though before we go any further, and I'm sure the guys will share this with me. Sort of a little bit of bad news to start the year off. Kenny Jago, who's a big supporter of the Xbox community and has always been a big supporter of my channel and everybody else here as well. And it was very sad to hear about the passing of his father, Jim, yesterday. So, I'm sure I speak for everybody here when we, share our condolences to you, buddy, and all your family.
That was a shock.
It was a shock. It was real hard to read, and I'm sure, like everybody else, we've all followed, the pictures that you put up with you and your dad, and we're really sorry, and our thoughts are with you, buddy. So I just wanted to get that out there first. So there we go. Yeah, a bit of a downside to start with, but it needed to be said. So yeah, here we are, 2018. Great year last year for Xbox. It's going to be an even better year this year. So here we are. The guys are here. So if you want to start by giving yourselves a shout out and give your channels and your Twitters and everything else a shout out as well. Do you want to start Insomnatech? You may as well start today.
Sure. So yeah, guys, I'm on YouTube here. I do gaming related stuff. I'm more Xbox centric, but I do cover PlayStation and PC as well. You can find me on youtube.com/the Insomnatech. I'm also on Twitter, Mixer, Facebook, and Twitch /Insomnatech on any of those platforms. And yeah, that's it. I come and enjoy the stream.
Yeah, so it's great to have you on again, mate. The first one you did, we were all really impressed with. I knew you were going to do well anyway, but I think it was your first podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct.
You just come on and blitzed it, mate, and we impressed everybody, and that was it. And that's why I asked you to, become a more permanent member of the podcast team. So it's great to
really
have you on
appreciate
again.
it.
No problem. Over to you, Sherman. The Sherminator is in the house. Give yourself a shout out, buddy.
First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. Sherminator here, aka Technofunk, Xbox Live, of course. Want to say it's good to be back. It's been far too long, even though it hasn't been chronologically that long, but it just seems like it's been decades. Is it okay for me to say that? Is that too much of a stretch?
Yeah, well, some of us are old, so yeah, that counts.
Decade for us is like that's it, game over.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, they say the time frame that exists for gamers is a little bit different than the rest of the world. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Again, want to just give a big shout out to, of course, everybody at Project Xbox, everybody at the mansion. Everybody at Roscoe's Video Arcade, and to all of our family members who had to put up with our game playing addiction for the past, I don't know. I guess it varies from person to person, but speaking personally for myself, it's been quite a bit. So to my lovely wife, I thank you so much. I love you so much for putting up with me and my game playing habits. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to this year, especially the gaming community and everything that Xbox has to offer. And once again, it's great hanging out with you guys again. And for the record, Insomnatech, the show that you appeared on when I was away doing my own thing, I heard it afterwards, and I was extremely impressed. I mean, Chris said that you were the bomb, but half the time we don't pay attention to Chris. So it's one of those type of deals. But this time he was right. So I'm just thrilled to participate on the show the same show that you're on with us. So I'm looking forward to just hanging out with everybody. It's going to be fun.
What a star, and he's just got that voice. It's just a star movie, presentation appeal there.
Oh my goodness. The check's in the mail, Chris. The check's in the mail.
But there you go. Well, it's great to have you on again, mate, as always. And over to my good old friend as well. God, we go back a few years now. Delpoi.
Yeah, Delpoi here. I would actually say that I've got like loads of YouTube followers and Twitter followers, definitely. But to be honest with you, I'm not anymore. Yeah, just me. Hail from the mansion. A big shout out to everybody there. I know Alim's happy that he got his Xbox One X today, so congratulations, dude. Know you've been waiting on that. And also AJ actually picked up one as well. So yeah, I mean, we were all surprised, dude. But yeah, props to you, man. Like you thought, obviously the PC was the better thing for you, but yeah, you finally seen the light. But yeah, that's about it, really. Had a good New Year. I watched Netflix. That was great. Yeah,
Netflix has got a lot to answer for.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, other than that, there's lots and lots of gaming. It's just been trying to get through my backlogs, being crazy. So, but anyway, that's me. So, I think it's over to the resident hobo now.
Yeah, it's the beard with a mouth. Andy Mac.
Hello, it's the hobo, the beard with legs. How's it going? And please welcome Hubot.
Hubot, our roaming reporter, is at it again.
Finally in the call.
Just in time. Introduce yourself, buddy.
Hey guys, it's me, the one and only. Well, at least I hope so. Hubot 8. Glad to be back with my familia from the UK, obviously. On the road, getting ready to report once again. These magnificent ponies keep attacking. It's great. It's okay. Under the weather, it's about 20 degrees right now, but it is what it is. At least it's not hot, burning my balls over here. Guys, it's great to be back. Miss you guys. How you been? Happy New Year. God bless every single one of you. And how you guys doing? Because I haven't been able to really speak. I've been really sick, but trying to get better, I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, mate. It's good to have you back. We got a full team. Hopefully, we will have an appearance by the Welsh Gamer later on. As many of you know,
coming in again? He's always tagging along, isn't he?
He is now.
It needs to get a life.
He's turning into YouTube's what's his name? Philip Schofield. He's YouTube's Philip Schofield. Everywhere you look on YouTube, he's there.
He's a stalker. Yeah. I'm telling you.
I told you guys he will not formally admit it, but I know for a fact that he has a job as the official internet commissioner.
I won't be surprised. That would surprise me, to be honest.
Hey, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for coming in late, but that link, the other way I was sent before originally, for some reason, I don't know why, it just doesn't work. The way you send it to me, MicroBox, works every time.
That's weird, isn't it? I told you to sort it out, guys. I told you he'd work out that we're sending in the wrong links.
I think it's probably the phone, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is every time you send it to me that way, it always works.
Yeah, it's weird. I'll just have to remember to do that next time. But it's okay. We were just doing the intros anyway, so you're fine. You're fine. You timed it just right. In fact, you timed it perfectly because it was your turn to introduce yourself.
How much love I get here? You think I can turn this down? I can't turn this down. It's impossible. It's impossible. You guys are too good to me. Too good to me. Hey, Sherman, how are you?
Hebot, what's going on, my brother?
Man, glad to be able to speak to you once again. With the grace of God, that's all I can say.
Yes, sir. And during the show, I got something. Well, I'm going to bring it up anyway, but it's specifically it's something that I'm sure you're going to kick out of. So that's just a teaser for everybody. So let's get this ball rolling.
Let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling. So, wow, where do we want to start? Let's talk about our Christmases. Actually, who got goodies at Christmas? Who got games? I got so many games now. I haven't got enough time to play them. I'm literally flipping a coin to see what I'm going to play next. It's ridiculous. I can't decide.
That's a great system, by the way.
They're all great games, and I want to play them. So I cannot decide. So I'm flicking a coin. I mean, over Christmas, I finished Star Wars Battlefront 2. I finished Call of Duty.
That was great for connecting the two films, like the old one and the new one. The connection. If you like the actual films, like I think MicroBox will agree. Play the campaign of Star Wars Battlefront 2 because it's perfect. It connects it all. It
was brilliant. I mean, I haven't played a game over Christmas that I've been disappointed with. As I said, Battlefront, Call of Duty World War II, which I thought the campaign was brilliant. It was the first time in a long time that I've actually started a Call of Duty campaign that I actually wanted to finish. I think that was because it wasn't all this jumping around bollocks. You know, I hate all that. If I want to do all that in a first-person game, you know, I hate it. If I want to do that, I'll go and play Halo because it does it properly. You know?
Mate, yeah, that's exactly what I always say when I'm playing multiplayer. Is scream down the mic saying, "You're not playing Halo."
Yeah, stop jumping around.
You did see in World War II loads of beret wearing guys jumping around for the resistance, jumping around corners and stuff, trying to do 360 no scopes. I don't think so.
I also did Wolfenstein, the Colossus. I thought that game was amazing. I finished that. Andy Mack, you've really disappointed me on that game. Your achievement score is appalling considering you finished that game. You've got to put some work into that.
Shut up. Don't do achievement points.
Shots fired!
Hey, I've got more achievement score than people who've been on for 10 years.
Well,
and I don't even do achievements.
You bad boy, why always gotta be so personal? You're so mean.
There's just no need for it, is there? There's just no need for it.
It's all your fault.
In traditional Andy Mack way, you know?
You have to watch him, I tell you. Give him a sniff of a beer and your stuff.
He's on Jägermeister tonight.
Jaeger.
Yeah, he's on that.
Jaeger bomb.
What else? I'm currently.
I drink it neat, mate.
Oh, you crazy asshole! Sorry, family language.
No, that's fine. What else? I'm just trying to think what else I finished over the Christmas period. But I mean, on top of that, I've still got Resident Evil 7. Which I've got to do. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which we'll talk about more later. I'm loving that game. That game is fantastic.
Oh, yes.
The toss was won this week by Assassin's Creed Origins, so I've now started that. Oh my god, I should be. I didn't just stop at tossing the coin once I started playing that. Oh my god.
Oh no, you were going to use that pun. Oh man, no, that's just wrong.
Hey, the rubber grips on the controller really come in handy, don't
they? They do, mate.
No,
they do. They do. It's just stunning. It looks incredible. It plays brilliantly. I mean, I love the Assassin's Creed series anyway.
That game is amazing.
It's just phenomenal.
You haven't even played. You don't even like the first one, so fake fan.
Don't go into that. Don't go into that. I also got Forza 7 over Christmas as well, which I'd already played at EGX with my good friend Andy Mack and the Welsh Gamer. That is a brilliant game, but it's one of those games I go to, have a quick blast on it for an hour, and then go and play something else. I can't play racing games all day. I start falling asleep. As much as I enjoy them, it is there's only so much you can go round and round and round, isn't there?
Right. You start getting a little fatigue after a little couple hours.
I also got Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, which looks it looks amazing. The soundtrack to that game as well.
You phony! You waited all this time to buy it?
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. And what I wanted to talk about as well, This is a game which has only just come out on the Xbox One. Actually, I was actually lucky enough for the developer Ace Maddox to send me an early release copy. I got it before. I got it about a week and a half before everybody else. And it's called Flying Tigers: Shadows over China. Now, for anyone listening, no, honestly, for anybody who likes games like Crimson Skies, you will absolutely love this game. It's a World War II sort of aerial combat fighting game. It is brilliant, and I mean, yes, I was lucky enough to get a free copy, but it's only 15 quid anyway, and it is worth more than that. It is worth, you know, how much was Crimson Skies when it came out? It was a full price game, wasn't it? 40 quid. You know, this is easily worth 30, 35, 40 quid's worth of anybody's money, and the multiplayer is really good as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. A brilliant developer. It's a brilliant game, and it just plays so well. So yeah, that's what I've been doing over Christmas, apart from drinking and trying to catch up with things on Netflix. Insomnatech, how did your Christmas go, mate? What did you get?
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. Ton of games came in. There was great sales. That's something I wanted to point out. The sales that were happening, were just great, especially on Xbox. They had 500 or 600 games on the last sale.
Yeah, and that's how I got. That's how I got Wolfenstein. I mean, that was reduced to like 20 quid, I think. I mean, it only been out a few weeks.
Well, Andy Mack actually gifted me one game. I think, did you get me The Evil Within, Andy, or was it Wolfenstein that you gifted me?
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I still need to get around to it. I'm trying to get through The Evil Within at the moment, but like, Wolfenstein, I've got to go through that as well.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah, I picked up Assassin's Creed. That game is. I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. I played. Pretty sure I played every Assassin's Creed. Maybe not the one that was only on PlayStation. I think the Rogue or something like that. But I guess they're remastering that.
Yeah, that's coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there was another version though. I don't know if it was. Are they remastering? I think there was one that was called Rogue or something. I'm not sure, but
the Rogue was
Assassin's Creed Rogue exclusive for 360. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one I haven't played, and but I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I fell off at Syndicate, but I came back and played that game and did like it. And this new one is just awesome. It is awesome. Call of Duty is another game that I've been playing. Forza 7. There's just so many games that came in, and I went back to The Witcher because of the update. The update is amazing. I put out a video on The Witcher, and it did great because the visuals on the 4K mode, they're stunning. Like it's just as good as PCs, and it plays. You know, The Witcher is just a phenomenal game. I went back to Dark Souls recently because of the announced remaster. So the last couple of days I've been went back to the back compat on the 360. So that's awesome that Xbox allows us to go back to a 360 game that we may have owned. And they're remastering that, so I wanted to get the experience of the old one so I can appreciate the remaster. Now, I've been playing a ton of games like Elder Scrolls Online, PlayerUnknown's, but I know we're going to get to that. That game is great. It does have some issues, and I think they will work them out fairly soon. But yeah, that was my holiday. I had a great time playing these games, and 2018 is looking great too. Monster Hunter World's coming up. That's a game I'm looking forward to. There's a ton of games coming out, so it's a great time to be a gamer.
Yeah. Chris, this is your cue.
Yeah, sorry. Do you know what? I'm a man, and I can only do one thing at a time. And I was reading through the comments. I wasn't expecting Insomnatech to finish so quickly.
No, I can keep going. There is a ton of games. I've been playing. Xbox is great. Even on the PlayStation side, there were some good deals over there. But I think Xbox had the better set of the deals. I don't know if anyone has heard the MPDs. They came out for December. Xbox killed it, which is.
I didn't see them actually. I didn't see them at all.
Oh yeah. I've not seen them either. Like that. This is news to me. Why? What happened?
Yeah. So Xbox did beat out PlayStation for the month of December.
Oh, really?
Which beat out everybody, but Xbox really, took hold in December. I think it's because of the deals they were putting out, the console deals for $199 or $189.
Insomnatech, I know you're one of our new members, but stop lying. You know you're a fanboy. Stop it.
No. Hey, I like
Fake news.
I'm an Xbox gamer, and I like all the platforms. I do own everything, but Xbox killed it. I mean, that's what happened, and I think it's because of the deals they've been putting out.
I think the X certainly,
and because of the X,
I think that put a massive, great big golden underscore under everything that they did last year. The X, I think they killed it with that console. I think it certainly seemed to do a lot better than what even Microsoft and the Xbox team were expecting it to do. So I think it blew everybody away, really. But like all of us, when you actually use it, you can understand why. Again, that's something that we'll go into later on today. No, cheers, bud. That's much appreciated. So he's been going on and on and on and interact. We better give him his time. Go on, Hebot. What you've been playing, mate? I know you've been playing Mini Pac-Man. I know you've been playing that.
I want that keychain. That keychain rocks. Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, where's he gone now?
I don't know.
Hebot, are you there?
You remember he's driving.
It's your turn.
Oh, you're asking me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna explain to you what happened. Hear me? I'm putting on a mic right now.
Yeah, that's better. We can hear you now.
Is that better a little bit?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, what happened is because I stood up last night doing the same thing Insomnatech just spoke about not too long ago, doing some retro, Xbox One compatting gaming. I was playing Virtua Fighter 5, and we end up doing all types of tournaments until like 4 in the morning. Playing Virtua Fighter 5. I had so much fun, man. I didn't realize how well that game holds up. It just makes me linger and I mean, have that want for a new one, for Virtua Fighter 6, It's really, really, really wonderful. It holds up very well. So I was with Sega Forever and Master Chief and a bunch of the other guys like Jeffrey and stuff playing until like I said, until like 5 in the morning. So I still can't even remember my name at this point.
Hang on, did you have fun on Xbox? Did you have fun on Xbox?
I had somewhat
weird.
fun. No, I had make-believe fun, Andy. Make-believe fun,
we make
believe.
Apparently we don't have fun on Xbox these days, apparently. Going to a lot of people.
So what Insomnatech said was a wonderful statement. He's absolutely right. That backwards compatibility, you cannot. The more games they put on it, the more you realize, like, damn, this is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So I played that.
Microsoft are killing it with the compatibility program. It is. I mean, even Katika put an article up about it the other day saying how great it is. It's been received so well, even though we were told that nobody wanted to play old games. Compatibility wasn't required. It is.
Which is kind of hard to understand how nobody wants old games, but when they make a remaster on a competitive platform, they don't have a problem to pay for it. You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then they remaster it again.
The remasters.
Yeah.
Then when we call them hypocrites, we're bad people. We're being console warring, or we're being mean, or trying to be slaves to a corporation or a console. When we call them out in their hypocrisy, because we're not, they're not hypocrites. We are. But that's okay. It is what it is. So the question, my friend, MicroBox, what was the entire question in its entirety? Because I didn't
do you mean you've been going on all that time and you haven't even answered the question?
Hey, what was the question?
The question was, how was your Christmas? What did you get over Christmas? What did you play? And did you finish anything? What games really stood out for you?
I've really been playing a little bit of everything. I see. My problem is I put my foot in too many pots right now, so I can't figure out which one I should spill first. So basically, what happened is I've been playing over Christmas. I don't know if you guys saw when I tweeted out. We bought household. We got Disney's Adventureland and Racing.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was in. We picked up the Disneyland Adventures because we never bought it on the 360. So now that it has the functionalities of the control as well as, I was like, you know what? Because I want more family games to play with my beautiful family, obviously, which I don't get to really do much. I picked up Lost Legacy for the PlayStation 4, Nier Automata for the PlayStation 4. I picked up a copy of the I think it was the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, which they also sell physically, because those are now actual games when they used to be just DLC back then. Picked that up, and I also picked up a copy of Super Lucky's Tales. I picked up pretty much everything that was exclusive on both ends, or anything that I might have been missing, like. Within 2 I have as well. I bought Call of Duty for the Xbox, which I completely understand now why everybody's really happy with it. It looks incredible. It plays really nice. Haven't really dived into it yet, but I've seen my sons. Because the lucky thing with me is that if I don't get to play because I'm on the move, I can see what's going on with my children when they're playing it. I can catch, and be a spectator, obviously. But it looks incredible. But it looks really good, and I can understand why the fans are happy. But me myself, I beat all the Neo Geo beat 'em ups that came out, like Robo Wars. I beat Mutation Nation, which they never were on consoles before. That's why I bought them and played them for those. Like, why would you play that old crap? Because I couldn't afford $800.
Neo Geo is class. Neo Geo is class.
Yeah. Plus, most of us, I'm pretty sure here in this panel, we couldn't afford a Neo Geo at $800 when we were young.
They were
important, isn't it? Basically, like
they were bloody expensive.
Like
that's right, and the fact that they're. Go ahead, Andy. Finish your stay. I'm sorry.
So I was just going to say, like, I think it was it King of Monsters or Monster Fight, the one where you play as basically Godzilla and all that. That was what got me.
King of Monsters.
Yeah. King of Monsters.
Yeah, King of Monsters. The wonderful thing is now that they're like $7 to $8 through the arcade, and they're arcade perfect versions of them. Since we didn't get the chance to play them in our own leisure, it's kind of like when you have that toy that you loved and you buy it, let's say 20 years later for nostalgia, and you just play around with it just to get your memories back that you remember. That's basically what it is. We never got to beat these games or own them. Now we do at the comfort of our home and at a nice price. So I beat Mutation Nation, like I said. I beat Robo Wars and Top Hunters, which is a nice platform that's got some beat 'em up elements, but it's a shooter like kind of like Metal Slug.
Yeah.
Then,
yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, Metal
okay.
Slug.
So I beat those. I 100% Super Lucky's Tales. Phenomenal retro style platformer. For those who say that they like Mario and then say that Super Lucky's Tales is bad, you're not really being honest. You're lying to your audience and to yourself, because any real gamer that's played platformers from the beginning will absolutely know that it's platformers at its best, at its purest. It is wonderful. It looks phenomenal. On the X, it runs at a full native 4K in 60 frames as opposed to 1080 in 30 on the S, which is another bonus and incentive to play it on the X. Almost about to beat Record Definitive Edition. Once you unlock that other core bot that is kind of like a Segway, but a motorized robotic Segway, that acts like a robot core or a robot with a core. It's awesome because you got some running segments that they do like racing, even jumping, and you can platform up, and it lets you reach other places you couldn't reach. You can go over the mud, and it's a lot more I don't know. It feels complete now. It feels complete as a game. Yeah. It feels like it should have been there from the very beginning. And with the enhanced pack that they did with the texture pack, it's phenomenal. It looks even better. So I'm about to finish that, and I've been doing a lot of retro streaming as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, like if I could keep going, I'm pretty sure there's much more. But I got to give the other guys a chance to speak. But you know, that's the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw some of the extra stuff you were putting up on your channel. So yeah, if you're into all that sort of thing, make sure you go and check Hebot's channel at the end of the podcast, because he's got some great stuff on there. So over to you, Dale. What have you been playing? What have you had? What have you finished? How was your Christmas? Give us the insight.
Well, Christmas. Well, I had family around, usual stuff, but most of it, to be honest with you, was just backlog city like everybody else. There was just so many games. I went from Shadow War. I was playing through that, and that's really great. That game, so much fun. And then I tried a little bit of Assassin's Creed. As soon as I started Assassin's Creed, I put Shadow War down because I just couldn't get off it.
That's the trouble. That's the trouble.
Yeah, it's like I went on to that, and then I started to play through Evil Within 2. I'm up to chapter 8 on that now. I know there's like 17, so I need to complete that. And I've got Wolfenstein to complete. And then, lo and behold, the gem that is PUBG lands on console on the 12th of December. So I played that, even though it's frustrating with obviously a little bit of bugs. But at the end of the day, game preview. You know what I mean? If anybody out there does not understand the meaning of not finished, I'd like to reiterate that again. Not finished. Anyway, but this is the thing. At the end of the day, it's in-game preview. We get to play it the wood on the PC. We get the benefit of that, but we also get the bad bits. But the thing that is really good about that developer is they are known. This is from talking to PC guys I know. They said, do not worry, you're in good hands with that game, because they update it regularly. And what have they been doing? Updating it every week. Exactly. So anyway, I digress. Apart from that, obviously, I've just downloaded the open beta for Dragon Ball FighterZ today. I was trying to get a match. It's waited an hour to get one match, and I got my ass whooped. And then I was waiting around for ages longer, and no one was playing, so I don't know what's happening there. But what I did play, wow, that game is it's a mixture of the great Dragon Ball Z fighting and all the epic moves, and actual it cuts in cutscenes of them performing them. So but it all flows perfectly. So I'm very impressed with that. I need to find money to buy it, because I've already bought a game which Insomnatech brought up, which I knew I had to get, which is Monster Hunter. I cannot wait for Monster Hunter. I played them all on the DS. I love them. You know what I mean? So to have it on the console, I know they did do one on the console before, but it doesn't look as good and as deep as this one. I mean, this one looks really deep. Apparently, it's something like 80 hours worth of gameplay if you do all of side missions and everything. But it's 50 hours if you just play the normal campaign. But yeah, Monster Hunter's going to be my next game, so I've got to hurry up and finish the rest.
I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter too. Yeah, that comes out this month, right?
Yeah, 25th. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, I got to pick it up. I forgot about Monster Hunter releasing soon too.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as anybody who's played Monster Hunter on the DS, I think it originally started on the PlayStation, but then it went to DS. But if anybody's ever played it and you know how addictive it is, and considering it's how small the screen is on a DS, to know that there's a console version that can now play on my 55-inch 4K TV, and it's got the enhancements and everything. It was a no-brainer. Had to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, mate, just plowing through backlog, just trying to do.
It is a nightmare. I mean, people complain about the lack of games, and I've never had such a big backlog. Yeah, I've never had a backlog like it, and I still games out there I want to get. I want to get Monster Hunter, but it's I can't. it's like I'm some kind of, it's like like a drug habit, because as soon as the game comes out and I know I'm not going to be able to play it, it's like The Witcher 3. I still haven't played that game, and it's been sat on my hard drive
What?
since it came out. I know.
Right,
need to
after
play
this, you better play that game. Get on that game. Seriously, you
I
want to
know,
see
I
it
know.
in 4K.
It looks amazing. I've had a quick look at it since the update.
Go for the
and it looks
4K
amazing.
mode. The performance mode is good, but trust me, go for the 4K mode.
Yeah.
Because like it's playable at, I mean, it's 50 frames per second anyway from on the base hardware. It's smooth, but it looks absolutely stunning in 4K with the
Yeah.
HDR. Everything just pops.
We're spoiled. That's our problem. Andy Mack, the beard with the mouth.
Is he awake?
The beard with legs. Where's
No, he's got a mouth
where-
as well. He's got a mouth as well.
Where's E-Rock when you need him, man? Where is he?
I don't know. Go on then, mate. What you've been playing? What you bought? What's your backlog like? What you've been enjoying?
Well, I haven't really bought hardly any games over Christmas.
You did. You just didn't
I
buy
didn't.
them for yourself.
I bought more games for some of you guys than I did for myself.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, yeah. But what I was playing over Christmas was Shadow of War. I completed that, the story. Not fully on the achievements. Yeah.
No,
Back
like
off.
then, yeah, a bit like Wolfenstein.
No, more than Wolfenstein.
Did you do it on I'm a funny level like you did on Wolfenstein, or did you do it on a harder difficulty? Well, you played Wolfenstein on a complete funny difficulty, didn't you?
No, I played I played Wolfenstein on hard. I switched back to medium when I realised I didn't know how to kill this one dude, and then I found out actually it's really easy, and then I shoved it back on hard.
What's the achievement then as soon as you do that?
And I played Shadow of War on medium. I think I put like over 3.5 days worth of gameplay into that.
Oh, nice.
Got to level 50. I was actually showing it off to my mate who doesn't actually own an Xbox X. And we spent about a good hour and a half just on the Nemesis system before playing the game. And I think it's a great game. It's a massive shame that it wasn't included in the game awards and all that stuff. Even Assassin's Creed should have been in there. You can't have a Game of the Year award and not include all the games in that year. It's ridiculous. If you're gonna have a show for that sort of thing, it needs to be in January. It's just stupid.
Actually, that's a good point, to be honest, because most of the actual like games that do seem to impress quite the most do come at the end of the year.
Exactly, especially on Xbox as well. Because from past experiences, and one of the big moves of me coming to the Xbox was having no new games that really piqued my interest on the other system, as I like to call us.
You can say the system if you want. You can say it.
But yeah, apart from that, I've played that. I finished it just before New Year's Eve. I played the story of Wolfenstein and finished that before New Year's Eve, or probably a couple of days after. I'm not entirely sure.
I can't remember because you were too drunk.
Yeah, and then before that, I was playing. I finished the Star Wars story, and I thought that was really good. They really showed what the power of the X can do with the quality and the visuals in that game. I loved how they.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah, here he is.
Carry on, Andy.
They incorporated the Force Awakens at the end. How it ties in with that. Before all that, though, I was gaming with some other people from the Twitter space. I got introduced to Xbox 448 and had a few games of Destiny 2. And despite all the negative press, hate from other gamers, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got. With all that, we were just doing what we do when we play games.
Destiny
have
2
fun with each other, and just have a laugh. And half the stuff that people complained about with it, it's like it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. You know, I'm used to playing the same sort of games over and over again, so nothing new there for me. I played some PUBG as well. You know,
crashed. What's that then?
So it's a game where you get in a car, and you decide to go to a cool place, and you just like crash it into a fence.
Oh, that game!
And then
get down with all your teammates.
I thought it was the one where all your teammates die behind you. You try and run to the blue circle, then you die yourself.
I've heard that. I've heard that as well. Yeah. It's a great.
Hello. It's Stalker.
It's Philip Schofield. He's in the house. Philip Schofield of YouTube.
Oh man! Did you see his Snapchat videos like on Facebook over Christmas? Philip Schofield. Oh, they were brilliant. Did you watch him? Is him getting pissed on gin, different types of gin, like one of them. Then like there's a one of him like trying to kill like basically one of those like smoke detectors in his barn, and like he broke one, and then he found out it was another one, and like he's done. It's like basically like the episode with Phoebe out of Friends. But yeah, if you've never seen them, hunt them down. This is for UK people. Will know it. But yeah,
not a lot has changed then, guys. Delpoi's still putting people to sleep.
Wow.
It's all right.
Just have him, Del. Just have him.
It's all right.
It's going to be a new year. Right. New year, new resolution. God,
we haven't got 4K. We've got 4K.
Everybody who's joined us tonight has joined at the perfect time, and it just so happens that it's your turn. It's your turn.
Sorry, go.
Good night. It's your turn to answer the question, Bowen. How's that?
Oh well, you'll have to tell me what the question is. You've got me, guys. For 30 minutes, 30 whole minutes. So fire them at me.
We're still talking about what we've been doing over Christmas. So the guys have just been saying how their Christmas was, what games they bought, what they've been playing, what were their best games, what were their favourite games, what have they finished.
Alrighty, I'll give it a crack. Well, Christmas was phenomenal. Had a load of food. Trying to shake a bit of the excess weight off, but other than that, overall great Christmas.
Well, but they said they couldn't amputate my body, so I'm stuffed.
Hope you all had a great Christmas, though, guys. But as for the gaming front, actually, I haven't stopped. I mean, the One X is just phenomenal. Like that's why I took such a big break from YouTube. I literally took like a good month or so off. Unintended, but I just had to have like time with my Xbox One X, man. I've been playing loads. I've been playing Super Lucky's Tale.
Hopefully not in the toilet.
Wow. Can't promise nothing. But
you had to be at the toilet.
Mate, it's wireless. You gotta utilize the feature. You could be playing while on the bog. It's great. But it's fantastic. I love it. I've beaten Shadow of War. That's the only one that I've actually, from beginning to end, beaten. And I completely recommend it to anyone. It looks stunning. It plays stunning, and the story and the gameplay is just outstanding. I'm on Assassin's Creed Origins now, which also is beautiful. What was the next question? What was all the questions? I'm trying my best.
Well, it was just what games did you get? What games have you been playing? What did you enjoy the most? And have you completed any? And
in total, I got I did get Super Lucky's Tale, Shadow of War, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Call of Duty World War II. And thoroughly enjoying all of it. Oh, and PUBG. Can't forget PUBG. Mate. Yes. Well, in terms of completion, Shadow of War I've completed. I haven't completed any of the others because I've pretty much focused all my spare time into Shadow of War. But in terms of what I've been having the most fun on, PUBG, man, in terms of online and playing with friends. What a great game that is, man.
Well, that's going to be our next, that's going to be our first proper topic, to be honest, of the evening is PUBG, so we're going to be talking about that.
Well, don't let me waste any more time. I mean, like, should we? Do you want to segue into the next topic?
Yeah,
well, actually, Sherman's not mentioned what he did. So,
hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
God. Sorry, Sherman. I
remember you do.
I'm sorry. What can I say? I thought I asked you first.
Good looking out, Steve. Good looking out.
Elephant never forgets, my friend.
It's only because he feels bad.
No.
You know, that whole brotherhood thing we were talking about earlier. That's you know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You know, but it's okay. We're all entitled. It's a new year, fresh start. You know, I won't hold it against you.
Okay.
I will.
So the holidays, as I kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show, the holidays for me, pretty good. Again, just still blown away by the total surprise that I mentioned this in the last show, that, you know, my wife bought me the X and I wasn't expecting it. So, I've been doing the dishes every day, and I've been taking out the garbage without having to be asked. And, you know,
you can remember to do that stuff. I always forget.
I'm whipped.
And you probably don't have to pay. I do.
I just thought I'd put that out there. But getting back to the games. So officially now, and I chose to do it a little differently, just a little bit. So officially the games and Insomnatech is absolutely 100% correct of all the gaming systems, all the gaming companies. You know how they all do. It's the holiday. Oh, come on over here. We got the best deals. And now, Microsoft killed it. It was almost too good to be true. I'm like, wait a minute. You want how much for this? That's got to be a typo. Let me pull up my credit card right now before you realize the mistake you made. You know, so it was one of those type of scenarios where there were so many deals. I mean, literally, I spent days before I bought anything because I'm like, it was the choices were so huge. You know, I couldn't afford to get everything I wanted. So it was like, well, let me see. I think I'll get this and this and this and this. So ultimately, I decided to grab some things that I had been eyeing for a while. And then, you know, when the sales kicked in, I'm like, oh, wow, that's too good to pass up. So, of course, I picked up Super Lucky because I think that was, I think it was only like $19.99 here.
Yeah, it was cheap.
So I grabbed Super Lucky's tail. I grabbed Everspace, was $19. No, Everspace was cheaper.
Yeah,
no, Everspace was cheaper. Everspace was $13.99.
It's a gorgeous looking game. It's a really nice looking game.
Yeah, and it's not even 4K enhanced. I mean, but running on the X, see, that's another one of those games, and I'll get into this in a hot second. But Everspace is one of those titles where, you know, running on the X, it's like, okay, it looks like this on the X. What's going to happen when they enhance it? I mean, it's like it's one of those scenarios. Like, okay, if they had waited to put that out right after the X came out, folks would have swore, oh, this is a 4K game. No. I mean, hands down. So anyway, I could go on and on about that. But yeah, I got Everspace. I picked up Ruiner. Has anybody here played Ruiner?
I've seen a lot of video footage for it. I'm quite interested in that game because it looks crazy. Old cyberpunk. So yeah, it looks.
Man, steampunk. Yeah, neo steampunk type. Oh man, yeah. Ruiner. Very, very. It's amazing that there's not a lot of press on it. I mean, it's one of those. This game should be way more popular than it is.
Phenomenal game, phenomenal. It's very stylized in the same vein as Blade Runner. The music alone
Yes.
as a character is incredible. It's
Yeah.
so greatly composed and harmonized. It's amazing. You're absolutely right. It plays very well. It's a top-down shooter with beat 'em up elements in the game. I own it. I played a little bit of it, so I know exactly what you're talking about, Sherman. And I highly recommend it. Like Sherman's recommending it to everybody. It's absolutely fun. It's a very underrated game that's in the indie space that should be praised more and supported by everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not,
if you really. Yeah, exactly. The price was, I think, if I remember correctly, it was like $12.99, somewhere in there. It was again, one of those no-brainers, like, oh wow, this thing's on sale. I mean, because normally I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's just, it might be $20 normally. So even at the regular price, it's for the game you're getting, it's still a great deal. But with the sale that they had going on, yeah, I just had to grab that, and haven't regretted it.
Sorry, guys, what was the title of that game again?
Ruiner.
Oh, yeah. Ruiner. Yeah.
I like the
Check
aesthetic.
that out.
The
It's not
aesthetic.
called Ruin Her.
No.
I like the steampunk type of.
Yeah, I like that sort of steampunk type of game.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. That's what I meant. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just my OCD kicking in, because like, I mean, I grew up.
You're right. That's what I meant.
I grew up reading like the books, the original books. Like that's why I'm looking forward to like Red Project's Cyberpunk, which they tweeted the other day. Just one word: beep. So something's coming about Cyberpunk soon. But I remember growing up and reading all the books. Well, they were books and games. Like they're basically like the books you could read that, like, you know, you have to play like a game through them, which I know sounds odd, but yeah, then for me, like that's what brought me up. Like, and then obviously Blade Runner and everything like that. So anything Cyberpunk, I love. It really gets me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also just before I quickly cut like anybody else off, if anybody really likes Blade Runner, on the 2nd of February on Netflix, Altered Carbon's coming out. Definitely have a look for the trailer of that like a show, and I swear down you will want to watch it. Yeah, Altered Carbon, it looks amazing. So anyway, I
heard about that too.
Oh yeah, honestly, Sherm, watch the new trailer. It's just come out. It's the full one now, so it shows you a lot more than like the teaser ones. It's about 2 minutes long, and it looks phenomenal. So yeah.
Oh, cool! Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. Anyway,
awesome.
So sorry about that. I know that wasn't technically games, but we were talking about Cyberpunk and stuff like that.
Oh no! It's all good, because it actually it's the perfect segue, because Ruiner, and actually I was the first one to say that it was steampunk, but you're absolutely right, it's cyberpunk, and it is very reminiscent. It has that whole Blade Runner feel, but if you have not checked that game out, by all means do so. Do yourself a favor. You will not regret it for sure. So yeah, there was those three: Ruiner, Super Lucky, Everspace, and then I grabbed Cinemore EX, because I'm a big shoot 'em up fan. Side scroller, top down vertical scroller. Cinemore EX. Some of you may remember that the original Cinemore debuted on the 360 right before Xbox One X hit the market, and even for a 360 game. It had visuals that were like, I mean, it was really pushing the hardware. But then I think it was back in August, this past summer, they released the EX, which basically it's a remastered version, specifically for the Xbox One. So that was on sale. So I went on ahead and grabbed that. It was interesting because that was part of the deals with Gold. It wasn't part of the official Christmas sale.
Oh yeah, because they had them
but
going as well, didn't they? So there was
right, they had both of them going at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So it was part of the deals with gold. The first week of the Christmas sale. So they had two sales running simultaneously. So I just went on ahead and grabbed. I've been toying with getting it anyway, and it was marked down. So I went on ahead and grabbed that, and the visuals on it, especially running on the X, it's like it's yeah, it's you know what, and I'm just gonna use this to kind of go into what I've mainly been doing, because the games that I just mentioned, yeah, okay, I grabbed them with them. Because ever since I hooked up and fired up the Xbox One X, what I decided to do was, and I think I may have mentioned this in an earlier show, what I decided to do, because, you know, Microsoft actually made a big deal when they announced the X. They said that, you know, of course, we're going to have a bunch of 4K enhanced games, blah, blah, blah. But they also said that every old game was going to play better, was at the very least is going to play better. Best case scenario, it's going to play and look better. So I just decided to go through my library, and I started, I've been going in alphabetical order, starting from all the A's and just going A, B, C, D, E, just going down the list. And I've been hitting up all the old games that I've already played. And I've been, you know, making notes. My wife says I've been doing homework for the podcast. So, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go with it. Yep. So actually, she's really like kind of been interested. So how far have you gotten? How much more you got to go? Yeah, so far, I'm down to, I just finished the F's as far as alphabetical order. So yeah, I been just going through the older games just to see if the hype is real. And for the most part, Microsoft didn't lie. Just to give you an example real quick, and I won't spend too much time, I fired up Dead Rising 3, not 4, because, you know, 4 is enhanced. 3 hasn't been enhanced, but Dead Rising 3, oh, okay, Hebot knows what I'm talking about. Dead Rising.
When you're done, if I'm allowed by my friend MicroBot.
Okay, this will be interesting. Yeah, Dead Rising 3. The power of the X. That game has been totally transformed. Totally transformed. For anybody that has played that game, you know, you have like literally hundreds of zombies on the screen at the same time. Now, on the old school Xbox One, sometimes it would slow down. Not on the X. Not at all. It doesn't bog down at all. The frame rate never drops. The textures are so much, they're richer. They're far more detailed now. Of course, the loading, it loads super quick now. Everything just flows so much better. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I never finished Dead Rising 3 because it would, you know, the frame rate would drop, and on the older one, the frame rate would drop and it got choppy in areas. But now, I mean, now I'm noticing lighting that definitely wasn't there before. Lighting effects. I mean, it's just, it's almost like playing a totally different game now. Just extremely impressive. And the further you go into it, it just gets even more impressive. It's just very outstanding. So that's Dead Rising 3. Then I played an indie game called Dagos, which is a kind of a 360-degree shoot 'em up. The lighting and the textures are better. And for everything that I'm mentioning, of course, the loading times across the board are basically cut in half. Defense Grid 2, another one. Oh my goodness. Seriously. Defense Grid 2, PC quality now. PC quality. Seriously, everything about it. You would swear it was Xbox One enhanced. Some folks might look at this next one and go like, "What are you playing that for?" Anybody remember the Kinect game Commander Cherry Puzzled Adventure?
Yeah.
Okay, so I fired that one up. The colors are far richer now, and the Kinect tracking, which I'm going to get into this in a second. The Kinect tracking, it tracks you flawlessly. There's no delay anymore. There's no delay whatsoever. Now, Hebot.
This is even Connect.
Hebot, this next one. This is, and I thought about you the whole time I was playing this next one. Blue Estate.
Yeah,
Blue Estate on the Xbox One X. Oh my goodness. Blue Estate. This could have been, literally from top to bottom, everything about Blue Estate has been improved playing it on the Xbox One X. The textures, night and day now. The detail, down to the smallest detail. Everything. I'll give you a perfect example. On the main antagonist, Luciano. Oh, I can't think of his first name. I swear it's Danny DeVito doing the voice though. But the main character, his gun, on the original Xbox, it looked like there were some markings on it, but you couldn't really make it out. It was kind of smeared and whatever. But now on the Xbox One X, you can make it out clearly. Clearly. It's the gun is shining now. The entire atmosphere of the whole game has changed. The tracking, once again, the Kinect tracking, it follows you flawlessly. I can't say it. Hebot, if you haven't played Blue Estate on the Xbox One X, by all means, play it through the Kinect. I guarantee you will be impressed. One of the Neo Geo games, Last Resort. Now, Last Resort is one of my favorite Neo Geo games, but the original Xbox, it would bog down a bit. The frame rate would drop because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But again, just like Dead Rising 3, doesn't slow down at all. Not at all. And then the next one, and this is where I left off, Forza 5 and Forza 6. Do I have to say anything? Especially Forza 6.
Really.
Oh my goodness, Forza 6. And I haven't even played Forza 7 yet. I got the demo waiting on me in the hard drive. But Forza 6, if Forza 7 is better than 6 running on the X, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'll be able to deal with it.
I 100% 6, trust me.
Oh my goodness. Forza 6 is gorgeous.
You hate you.
Forza 7 just looks absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing graphically. I never got 6. I got Forza Horizon 3 instead, so I didn't play 6.
5. I 100% 5. Now I'm trying to waiting because you know how we're gonna get the patch in 2 days for Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want to tackle that and then jump into 7 because 3 looks incredible, but I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. What type of enhancements they're putting in, which is in 2 days, Tuesday. People mark your calendar. I can't wait. Real quick, I wanted to add, if I may, MicroBots to what Sherman said. Basically, what that big gulp of version that he let out was because Sherman did not have the X for us, so he's going through what we were going when we first got it back in November. But he's absolutely right. Every game that you go back to, okay, almost 95% of them, even if they don't have enhancement, you'll notice immediately the quality remember, it does super sampling and it does anamorphic texture filter that is 12 times. It has that other thing that does 12 times. I forget what it's called. My son named reminded me the other day. That's why the texture quality looks better, and obviously because of the speed and the hardware, the frame rates are now locked stable. If they were 30 and they dip, they don't dip anymore. Or if they were unlocked, it actually brings it up, which I wanted to add with that, what Sherminator said. If you guys try out the game Troll and I, which is very reminiscent to Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom in the Xbox 360 and PS3 last gen, it's one of like those buddy games that it looks almost like where the wall things are, where you're controlling a creature and he helps you out. It's kind of like that type of feel. Troll and I used to be inconsistent frame rate, but it would jump up into 30, 40. It's an indie game, but has a lot of good mechanics, right? You're this little boy, live in a village catches on fire, his mother is trapped, and he's trying to save her, and he doesn't know if she's dead or not, right? I haven't gotten finished, but that's just the story. When I play it on the X now, it's 100% 60 frames all the time. It doesn't dip. And the texture has no pop-ins. It's always there, like you don't have pop-ins or texture loss of any quality. And again, the game's not really demanding. But on the edge, I don't know if because they didn't optimize it correctly or the game engine itself is a poor game engine. But whatever the case may be, with the X, it helps alleviate all those issues, even without the patch, just with the raw power. You know, the 60 frames is constant. And another game that does it is Submerge. I don't know if you guys ever played Submerge. It's with a little girl.
Yeah, diving game. Your little scuba diver.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Well, not that one. Not Subnautica. The one where the girl, they look like native Indian maybe, and it's in the future. It's post-apocalyptic kind of premise, but the difference.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The cities are underwater, right? And the only way you can travel around from building to building are through a canoe, right? Or some type of boat canoe that looks like a canoe.
Yep.
Her brother has some type of disease that he grew from, I guess, lack of medicine or whatever. So you have to go and traveling into the areas with the boat and go to these areas in the building to find resources and medicine to help him get better, to cure him. And it also shows like old school Mayan inscriptions that guide her and tell her the secrets of certain medicines and how to get it together to save her brother. But then there's these creatures that have came and arisen that are a threat and try to kill you, that you got to try to fight and survive by platforming and doing some types of fighting and using the environments to, that game did the same thing as Troll and I. It would dip down, it was inconsistent, and it would only freely have a higher frame rate when you were in the water. Now it's 60 frames constant all the time. It doesn't dip whatsoever, and the graphics don't pop up. There's no slowdowns, there's no freezing, there's no jittering, there's faster loading time. So those are the other two examples of what Sherminator was trying to say with what he's tried out of games that actually have unlocked frame rate and actually perform way better, or if not, like the way they were meant to be or intended to be originally. I just wanted to let you know if you guys haven't played it.
No, I mean, have we all got X's now? I think we all have, haven't we? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, when did you get yours, Seabot? Because you didn't have yours at the same time we all got ours, did you? Or did you get it at the same time?
No. I got mine's the second day, because a lot of places had the launch date, that you could get it like midnight that night. I couldn't in my local GameStop, even though they were supposed to. So I got it the very following day. Then I did the unboxing. So I didn't get to play it until like 3 days later, because I had to do the editing and the setup for the unboxing, and it took me 3 days to get all that together, believe it or not. So any of you guys do my unboxing, that's how long it took me to put all that together. So I didn't get to play it till the but then when you play it, again, to keep the long story short, it's just that unless you don't see it in the 4K resolution that it's intended to, with the HDR that it's intended to, at using it the correct way, like what CD Projekt Red did when Insomnatech talked about it. They actually did the patch right, the correct way, where they gave you all the bells and whistles. They gave you certain options like performance mode or high quality mode with care, love, devotion, and dedication, that they took their time, did it right, so that, you know, people won't troll it later on. Oh my God, look, it's so powerful, and yet it's still acting retarded. You guys know what I mean. Unless you see it at its true glory, you can't understand it. And the problem is not that we're being hypocrites, because the whole question before was, oh, but I thought you guys didn't care about graphics. No, it's not that we didn't care about graphics. It's that we as adults and gamers from our experience knew that the difference wasn't as big or pronounced at all. It was very minute. 180p difference of resolution was able to be fixed with an upscaler that the console had, or your TV with the console as well. So it wasn't a big difference unless you went 65 inch bigger or in size in TV or other. Then you would see a little bit more jaggy. If you can remember, the X does wonderful anti-aliasing, and it also has very good texture filtering, techniques that you can use with the console. So it's something you just can't see. And plus the contrast, the blacks, the whites are phenomenal on the Xbox. Even on the S, it's always been that way. On the PlayStation 4, they're more a little bit, muddier, or sometimes they look like kind of like a Vaseline type.
Can I quickly say something?
Yes, you can,
Sure.
mate. Because I want to move on to the next subject really as well, because Bowen's going to have to go shortly, so I want to hear from him before he has to go. We can keep talking all night, but poor old Welsh, he's been sat there thinking, "Can I have a go, please?"
No, mate, it's your guys. It's your guys'
No.
platform. I'm just a guest passing.
Stalker.
Well, that's very true. No, we'll go on to more about that actually afterwards. Actually, because I do want to talk about the excellent performance. But I want to bring up another subject. Now, I want to bring up PUBG. Now, this is something. We've got to talk about this game. Now, this is something we've all been. And I'll go to Bowen first before everybody else, so we can get his tuppence worth. This is a game that's come on preview. No, I mean, this is a game that's come to Xbox as a preview program, on the preview program for $24.99 or whatever it is. It's already sold over 3 million copies alone on the Xbox One. That alone means it's sold more than most AAA exclusives do on most consoles. It's an amazing support for the game. As you were saying earlier, Dale, we've had 4 patches now, 4 patches have dropped.
We're on the 5th one.
5 patches have dropped since it launched.
Which is on the 12th.
There. And Jesus Christ, this game is getting hate from certain areas. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, you've got Digital Foundry doing a complete review of how that game performs at the drop of a hat. Every time a patch comes out, they're doing another video. Yeah, they're doing another video, and I don't get it. Why people like Digital Foundry? I mean, we all know what happened earlier with Redout, is it?
They
got caught with their trousers down. I said to them on Twitter, maybe it might be worth actually finding out from the developers what you're actually testing before you actually test it. Then you might actually know what you're testing and what you're talking about. That's a big tip. You think Digital Foundry would do that anyway. But it's not just Digital Foundry, it's coming from everywhere. But at the end of the day, I think it's proven that we support games on the console. If they're good, we will buy them and we'll support them. And there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that PUBG, even in its early state, I had no real issues with it. A lot of people complain about the jumping and lag when the aircraft is in the air and you're flying through ready to parachute. But is it not struck everybody that's saying this, that, well, perhaps that is the time when the game is working out where everything is going on the island. That is the point when it's doing most of the compute, because it's telling itself where it's going to put all the which way it's going to come in, where all the weapons are going to be, and sort of sorting all that sort of thing. I don't care if I get a bit of lag when I'm just about to jump out of an aircraft. What I mind is if I get lag in the game, and I haven't seen any. The worst situation or the worst performance I've had from that game was the one night I tried it on my S downstairs as opposed to my X, and I did have some issues with it then. But since I've tried it since then, it's been perfect. And I was playing it on the X this morning, and it is running brilliantly. Again, there's still a little bit of jump in the lobby and in the aircraft before you jump, but the game itself looks and plays amazingly. Bowen, what's your experiences with this game? How are you finding it? What did you make about all the crap that has been given, Digital Foundry's bollocks, everything, mate? What is your overall opinion on PUBG and its sales figures?
Well, I'm going to give you my 100% wholehearted opinion on everything you just asked, and then I'm going to have to shoot off. But it's been a pleasure being with you guys, so thank you very much for having me.
He gets so excited. That's what it is.
But PUBG, isn't PUBG just the most controversial title to hit the Xbox for some time? Yeah, I'd say so. That's probably one way of putting it. All I can say is, if we like, first I'm going to hit the figures. 3 million sold on the Xbox alone. Like that is astronomical. That is phenomenal.
3 million players. It might have sold more. That's the thing.
Oh well, there we go. Well, that's even better. 3 million people playing the game at one time is just an incredible feat. I mean, like, I'll always give credit where it's due, whether it be like units sold for PlayStation or MPDs So this time, I'm going to give credit where it's due for the Xbox. That this cements and proves that us as a community, we back the games for the platform, and not to mention that us as a community are, even if we don't know it, we are going to be the reason why that game plays so beautifully in months to come. Because every time someone pays that £24 or $30 or whatever it is, it goes towards the game's betterment and overall polish. And every time we make a criticism, where constructive criticism, obviously, it goes towards like a patch which improves a certain area of the game. It's like, and 3 million guys, that like, this game is just gonna get better and better, and that number proves it. Now on to the hate it's been getting. I gotta be honest, it's not some, I'm numb to it now. Bottom line, it's only getting hate because it's on Xbox, and
that's right.
Isn't that the song that we've been hearing this whole generation? So I'm real used to it. I don't. It's nothing new.
There's no bias. There's no bias. It doesn't exist.
It's the same thing, different day kind of feel, right?
No, exactly. So all I can say is, I don't feel sorry for me or you or the Xbox gamers. I don't feel sorry for Microsoft, because everyone I just mentioned are in the same pool as me. They're used to it. It's just like, another day. But I feel sorry for Bluehole, the guys behind PUBG, because I can only imagine how demoralizing it could be as a games developer, especially being a small developer who's quite new to the industry in terms of game development. Because they've only been doing it for a year. They've put their heart and soul into this platform, into this game, and they got nothing but love and credit and bloody, like, left and right, like from all walks, that from every media outlet to the Digital Foundry to the PC gamers. They got nothing but love and compassion from the gaming community the whole time it was on PC. Yes. And they must have been on cloud 9 the whole time. Like, wow, look at this is surreal. This is something out of our wildest dreams. Oh, I can't wait to branch out and put it onto consoles. And then Xbox, being the only console that offers a platform where they can put their game on there, due to the, because of the preview program, they're like, oh, wicked, that would be brilliant with the, with the sturdy online servers, the community being so good and so responsive with feedback. This is a perfect time to expand our game. Day one on the Xbox is the first day of many days where Bluehole are going to realize what the fuck media bias truly is. Yeah. And it's just a huge slap in the face for them. I mean, imagine. Oh, just imagine, like, your business, for example. You've just started a bloody business where you cook burgers, I don't know, and your business is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better. And then you make one business decision and your legs just get chopped from underneath you. I just can't imagine how demoralizing, as a developer, that could possibly be. And I feel sorry for them to be on such a high pedestal and be so confident in what you're doing, to then have all that ripped from under you just because the Xbox has PUBG. I mean, you've got Digital Foundry, who for lack of a better term, digital pony. Back to, can't teach old dogs new tricks. They're back at it again. It didn't take long. I know they were singing Xbox One X's praises the first few months, and like whenever they were reviewed, but it was only ever they were, in all fairness though, they were only ever singing Xbox One X's praises when it was concerning a game only on the Xbox One X. When it came to comparisons, they'd still find every bloody wiggle room they could just to discredit the One X and praise whatever else they were comparing it to. They're just pathetic. Then media bias all around. I mean, like IGN, you had them doing a video saying PUBG, the most expensive free copy ever because it was bundled with the One X. It's just like, it is relentless. But then as Xbox gamers, it's something that we have grown used to over the last 4 years. But like I said, I just feel sorry for the guys over at Bluehole. Now, in terms of my fun with the game, it is a phenomenal game. And the patches that it's had in its early stages of it being on the Xbox it's done nothing but improve the game. The hit markers are better. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The game's not perfect. It's got its issues. It's got a long road ahead in terms of its development. It can only get better from here on out. But I think people really need to cut this game some slack because this game did not get this level of hate when it was in its first few months of being on the PC. It just seems like now it's getting the hate that it's never had in the whole time it's been existent. So I'm enjoying it. I think it can only get better. Sorry, Micro, what was that?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, games don't sell over 3 million plus copies if they're shit. You know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was that shit game that recently came out on the PlayStation boy, that Muppet from Gears of War? What was his name again?
We're gonna go there. Lawbreakers. Oh my god, 12 players, and now it's completely dead.
Is that the same guy who blamed PUBG for his game fate?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not even available on that console, but it ruined his game. Yeah, one of those.
Cliffy ball sucker.
Yeah, arrogant.
Have I missed anything out? Was there anything else that I need that I haven't regarding PUBG?
My point.
No, mate. No, definitely not.
How many chicken dinners are you on now, Welsh?
That's pretty much. Oh, I'm on one, mate. I did a solo chicken dinner. On my the first day I played the game. It was about my 4th or 5th match, and I came first. I was like, I actually recorded it.
There was only 30 people owned the game at the time, though, so...
It took me over a day.
Server outages, there was only 10 people.
It took me over a day of playtime to actually get my first chicken dinner. I had a look on my stats, and it took me over a day to get your playtime of the game to get me first chicken dinner. I've only got one. But it's still fun as fuck.
Mate, it's such a great game. I mean, another thing as well. This isn't the begin. This is just the beginning. I mean, PUBG has revolutionized a game mode. You'll see it everywhere now. I mean, Ghost Recon.
It's everywhere. Right, we've got it on Fortnite. Also, as well, Paladins is doing it. You know what I mean?
Ghost Recon Wildlands is having it. Red Dead Redemption 2 will probably have it. 100 people galloping on a horse. You just have no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
I just can't wait for Red Dead Online, to be honest. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, mate, me too. Mate, when that game comes out, I'm gonna lock myself away.
Have your own little posse and stuff going proper bank raids instead of cars you're using horses and shootouts. Oh man, that's gonna be amazing. Can't wait. Anyway.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for having me. And before I go, Micro, are you free Wednesday for the Dragon X?
Wednesday is a difficult one. Either Tuesdays or Thursdays are best for me. Otherwise,
all right, okay, no worries. Well, I'll put that in the group. But,
yeah, I'm free.
Sorry, Dal. I want to keep my audience awake, mate.
Going in.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
This gets worse.
That was more like a bazooka.
It's all right. Let the sheep lover have his day.
Get it right, sheep. Shagger.
Hey, I was trying to keep it PG. Dragged it down to the next one.
Andy, don't go too much. I'll drive around your house now. Like,
He's had so much Jägermeister, he'd probably be up for it, to be honest.
It's really
gents, always
kicking
a
in, the
pleasure.
Jaeger is.
Oh my goodness.
One of these micropods, they're gonna actually have to make a point of staying for the whole show because you're a good bunch. It's always a good time. But I'll have to love you and leave you. Hopefully, my input was of any kind of relevance
It was
and made any sense.
It was of a Welsh orientation. It was very informative, as always, and it was nice to get you on our podcast, as you seem to do everybody else's
Again.
these days.
You dirty whore.
You don't have to get him on. He always comes on.
I love it. Right, I'll catch you guys next week. With any luck, we'll do a Dragon X micro and get E-Rock on the case and have a little bit of a 2018 comeback on that front as well. But until then, gentlemen, have a great show and take it easy.
The Welsh Gamer has spoken.
And the Welsh Gamer has spoken.
Right then, right, let's get back to PUBG then. Now we say goodbye to the Welsh Gamer, and we haven't heard from Insomnatech for a while, so let's hear what he's got to say about PUBG. Have you actually got I'm making Del wait. Insomnatech, mate, have you played PUBG? What do you think of it? I think you probably had it on PC, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually have it on PC. I did wait until it was on the X. And when as the Welsh Gamer was talking, I jumped on and went to the game hub for PUBG to see my stats, which I think is really cool on Xbox, and you can compare against your friends, which is I don't know if that actually. I mean, it may be on Steam, but I think it's more integrated in an easier system on the Xbox. So I think that was pretty cool. I got 7 hours played. I haven't played that much. I played 18 games, 15 kills.
Hey, that's a good kill death ratio, mate.
I mean, it's not bad, but there is some issues that I do have. I like the game. Well, here's something that I thought about as well. I thought that Xbox is going to have a hard time, I think, getting the until a lot of the issues are fixed, getting the Call of Duty players onto PUBG. From what I've seen, so about 7 of my friends, about 2 of us got PUBG. Now, how do they get those other 5 guys? I think they got the hardcore audience into PUBG because we love supporting Xbox games and buying games, and we're into shooters, things like that. But how do they get those other Call of Duty core audience over to PUBG? Yeah, exactly. Because it is a different type of game.
Oh, it's hard. Yeah, it is realistic. So yeah,
it is fun. I think there's a couple issues. I did make a video on one of the issues that I thought that it makes the X and the S, when they compare the graphics. And here's a question for the panel. Do you guys want Microsoft to develop them, like have better graphics on the X? Because in this game, having better graphics can be a disadvantage because of foliage, because of lighting, because of all those different things.
Dudes play on low settings so they can see people clearly, so there's no bushes and that, so they can pick them off.
Exactly. And I noticed that in one of the videos Digital Foundry had put out, and I posed a question, are we, buying the X to get a disadvantage? I don't know. I mean, that's the question. I think they should do kind of more of a parody, unfortunately, but I think in a competitive game like this, I think that's a advantage to both systems, like to be on an equal ground. But yeah, I've been loving the game. I don't like the rubber banding. I don't know if anybody else has that issue.
Yeah, that one that was addressed with the patch that launched this morning. Micro's played it and he said he didn't experience any. I've heard a lot of people that like it because I'm mad on PUBG, like I'm part of the community, like on the Facebook and everything. And everybody's saying the same thing. The rubber banding seems to have subsided now.
That would be great, because that was one of my biggest issues, like going into it, because when you would come into a town where there was a guy or somebody
in a building, out building, in a building, out building, in
you would start rubber banding all over the place. But I had a blast. I'm trying to get my friends to move over, and I sometimes I'd love to jump in a game with you guys and maybe play. But I'm trying to get those core audience to grab PUBG, because I think it's actually a very good game.
I managed to get another friend of mine today. He picked it up this morning, messaged me and said PUBG's
Another
on.
convert.
Yes.
Yay.
Good man. Yeah, no, I mean it's a great game, and I've only had certain moments of Rubber Band, and I didn't get as much as I heard Del complaining about it, and I thought, well, I haven't really seen that. But you know, I was on the other day and I did get a little bit, but this morning when I went on, it played really well. And I mean, visual wise, I don't think for the type of game that is, I think the visuals don't need to be upped anymore anyway. I think the visuals are fine on the game. You know, just sort of. I mean, other than the few small issues that game's got now, I can't see any more where it can go other than sort of putting more maps in and things like that. I mean, for me, the games I've played much worse running games that have been released as AAAs, and I've had a much bigger budgets. I remember getting, what was that game on the Xbox 360 by Atari? It was one of the last games they did, which isn't any surprise to me. Was it Gun? I can't remember what it was called.
Oh God, yeah, Gun.
Yeah, it was a Western
the
game.
cowboy game with like a yellow sleeve to the cover. I remember that game.
It. When that game came out, I paid 40 quid for that game, and I couldn't get off the start menu.
You
know, I mean,
I had issues that game. Like, I remember like when you were getting basically there's a grizzly bear coming for you and stuff like that, and you're like trying to sort of run and take a good like target, and like it's sort of.
Hang
like,
on, did someone say grizzly? Grizzly.
Not Andy, Grizzly Bear.
That brings up a good thing about the preview program, because that's why these games are now going to preview program. They're having a problem with that on the other console, the PlayStation, where any games are just being released. We all have seen that. I don't know if you have, but the Life of Black Tiger game, it's just a terrible game.
What is that about?
How dare you? That's the best looking game of this generation.
I mean, there's several games that they're doing this. They're just like making terrible games and charging for them on the console. And I think the preview program does away with that, and that's a great thing.
Yes.
If I may intervene in something, which proves without a shadow of a doubt that something like the preview program is kind of essential in today's state of gaming, especially since things are a lot more complex. Have that issue since the beginning of this generation, that a lot of games came out and felt complete, or perhaps not polished or broken, for lack of a better term. With the preview program, that helps alleviate a lot of that, I guess, if they're willing to take the risk and bring out their game early, especially if it's multiplayer heavy. I think it works best. So yeah, I think that preview program is an essential program that every console that houses multiplayer experiences need to implement. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Can I talk about PUBG now?
We've got to say, actually, the friend that actually bought PUBG today, I was talking to you about, we just got him killed because he was laughing too much, apparently. What he was laughing at, I don't know, but he should be concentrating on his gaming and not listening to a bunch of middle-aged old gaming blokes on YouTube. Hey. Concentrate on your game.
Did you just assume my age?
Well, I know you're past middle-aged, but I didn't want to upset you.
Thanks for that, mate. No, PUBG, see, like, this is the thing, like, obviously, Xbox put out the news the other day, and it did say 3 million players, so we do not know how many people bought that game, because on PC, it sold 22 million copies. There's only actually, they hit a peak, I checked the other day, of 3,013,000 players, right? Okay, concurrent. Now, for us to hit 3 million in a month, what that game has took to do in basically, like, from March last year till now, in a month, is unreal. It's got to be said, that's completely mind-boggling. We've completely blown that out the water. That shows like the actual, the support that we want to give it, because, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it does get stereotyped, like Xbox, it's a shooter console, blah blah blah. It's a bro shooter console. So what? It's the best place to play a shooter. Like, so obviously we're going to support the shooters, but yeah, I mean, I've had some issues with it. stopped me putting like over a day into like worth of game time into it. I'm spending my money on loot boxes to get the same item 3 fucking times.
At least the loot boxes are free in this game, and we don't have to whore ourselves to buy them.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. But I mean, I've had issues. I've had the only issues I've noticed is, like you say, in the lobby, waiting for the game. But then again, there's 100 players there, so you got 100 players in one lobby. So they got to take that into account. Also, on the plane, there's 100 players. So I don't think they do take. And also, like you said, the map's loading in, so all the stuff's it's randomly generated, and you can actually see if you look from when you're in the plane. You can see sort of the map generating in a way, like into the distance.
Yeah. Well, they
Obviously,
probably
that's
put that to pop up. They probably put that to pop up, but they don't actually think that actually the game is actually processed and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and the map is freaking huge. If I mean, at some points I've just like got stuck up one side of the map and the circle's the other side, and I can't find a vehicle. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I mean,
just accept my fate.
It's like that though. I mean, I was playing it with Ross earlier, and we were both carrying behind this bloody Jeep in the middle of this. Why the hell we ended up in the middle of a field with a Jeep with us? And we just got there, and we had to get out the bloody car because we were getting shot at. And we were behind the car, and there was about 2 blokes in front of us in this house. We couldn't go anywhere because if we went anywhere, we get shot. And then some twat comes from the right and pops us. So we're concentrating on the 2 blokes in front of us. Somebody's just come around and just taken us out. And it was just such a great game of Mo. It's been a long time, and I've played with Ross for a long, long time. We've been good mates for a long time. And to actually get that back in the game, we haven't probably had that sort of experience since Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, and Rainbow Six, I expect. It's been a long time since we've had that kind of gaming experience. And PUBG, as simple as it is, it just gives it.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Six definitely. You can touch on that because that's not got no aim assist. It's exactly like this game.
Yes, exactly.
You've got to be able to actually think it, and that's like where it's coming back to Insomnatech's point is how to get the core market there. And unfortunately, because like obviously COD and most other shooters do have aim assist, this doesn't, and a lot of people are against it on the like forums because I genuinely like do give feedback after every patch on the forum, saying like what I think is working, what's not. The one thing I'm not happy about with this patch, why the hell did they put the pistol in the melee menu? I use my pistol. I can actually kill people with my pistol better than I can with an automatic in that game. I've killed more people with a pistol.
No, I did want that earlier because I had trouble selecting the revolver, the pistol, and I couldn't understand why.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, basically, you just press through Y to get to like.
That's right. But now you've got to push up on the D-pad.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, maybe they'll switch it back around. They're still trying to get the controller layout right. I can totally understand that. I mean, the looting side of things. I don't know I literally do not know what they can do to speed that up. I don't think they can. But to be honest with you, I played it for like I say, over a day, like worth of in-game time, and looting's not a problem, to be honest. So that's
either.
Yeah. I think you have enough time because generally the map is so big, and you can obviously being competitive gamer, you've got a headset on, you can hear people come from a mile off in that game. You know what I mean? If you've got a good headset, you can hear them.
If you balls it up and you land in the wrong place, you're screwed. That's the game.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing. Because this looks like a good spec.
Yeah.
Crap, there's like 10 parachutes near me. Oh no, I'm gonna die. You basically run in and all you can find is a smoke grenade. It's like, cool, I can smoke us out while they kill me.
Micro, that wasn't a dig at me, was it?
What was that? Sorry. No, I didn't mention the driving. I didn't mention
the driving, man. Right, I'll hold my hands up and admit, do not ever get on a bike with me in that game because the actual physics for the bike, the movement is like Trials Fusion. It's basically if you move too forward on the analog, it like starts going forwards, and you move too much back, it's going back.
No, you were actually in a game earlier, were you, mate? On the motorbike.
No.
The reason I asked is because me and Ross were in a house, and we could hear this bike coming from miles away. I went, right. He said, "Let's just go past," and then all of a sudden, I'm in the house. Ross could see him through the window. I couldn't see anything, and then I just heard this explosion. Ross has pissed himself and said, "He's just ridden his motorbike straight into a tree." So there's a whole field. The whole field, and this guy managed to drive his bike straight into a tree, and it just blew up. And I was like, I could just see the first game. Everywhere.
The first game I played, right? This is no word of lie. The first game I played, I was like, yes, I'm finally playing it, because I've watched it on live stream for months. Like, I'm hooked on it, like, because like the live streams have been watching it. It's like, yes, finally time to play. Jump into the game. Oh, cool, a bike. I've got a gun. I can get on a bike and go kill someone. I got on the bike, man. I went over this hill, and then the Trials Fusion thing kicked in. I was like, holy shit, what's going on? And I landed and smashed into a rock and blew up and killed myself. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, that thing goes all on. So let's jump in another one. It's very addictive. It is really.
It's great.
It's got, there's a lot of fun things in it. It's like remember when they always say only in Battlefield? Well, now it's only in Battlegrounds. I've seen some of the funniest shit happen in that game. Pardon my language again, but yeah, I've seen some funny stuff in that game.
My biggest issue with that game is just occasionally when you're loading, everybody's in their pants and socks. I mean, that's the biggest problem I've got.
I played a few games just in my pants, like nothing else. Like on a balaclava.
No, I've seen you in your balaclava.
I always play it in my pants. What are you on about?
Not at home. In
the game. Oh dear. Right, Insomnatech, could you finish, mate? Because we interrupted you again. And
sorry, yeah, it's just I'll get carried away.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about PUBG, mate, before we moved on? No, he's not there. No, he's not there.
About Sherman or anybody? Who else has got PUBG?
Sherman, have you got PUBG?
No,
I remember you said in chat the other day, yeah, you haven't got it. Have you got it, Hebox? Have you got PUBG?
Okay, I'm going to give a disclaimer first and foremost. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody that knows me close knows that I'm not big.
Hang on, you're breaking up a bit, mate.
I'm not shy about it.
You're that big on like competitive first person shooter type things. Yeah. Right.
So I'm going to give a disclaimer because I want to make sure that nobody takes give an answer based on what I've seen, and the projection of the game as honest as I can and as coherent. My son has it. Plays it. Watch him play. Now to play and go to the park. The game wasn't bad. MicroPod. I think at the first, hill of the 48-hour period, I don't think it was because the game was good that sold. I think more was about the curiosity of all the gamers that have been hearing about it on PC and didn't play, from the console gamer space, that wanted to see what was the hype about. That's what I believe. Number one, I believe that after that initial 48-hour period with all the people that bought it, anything else that's going on right now with the game selling is absolutely because of word of mouth. And it's positive, obviously, and negative. So something in the game has to be right. And what I've seen my boy play is it absolutely has problems in certain areas. Unplayable. It's having a lot of fun with it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I see them laughing, I see them screaming, I see them cheering, I see them yelling, I see them cursing even, and I gotta tell them stop. But to get to the point, PUBG is a phenomenon, right? But it's a phenomenon in a good way for a good reason. Not just because for the sake of it happening, right? Like in some cases, like let's say maybe the sales of PlayStation because media perception, right? So, that's a good thing. And Walt's Gamer hit a point that he's absolutely right. It's a good thing, but it's not that blue hole, right? Or not? Is it blue hole, right?
Yeah, blue hole. Yeah.
Okay, the blue hole has to get all this negative press in the PC space, right? No, I don't know if it's maybe for gamers or PlayStation gamers that they're getting hate from. Maybe it's just that now they feel threatened because guys feel threatened because now it's on console, right? And guys, more than likely it's because they're but they won't admit it, right? I guarantee you, that insult to injury, they break, right? Blue hole. And after a certain duration of time, let's say a month, a year, 2 years, they decide, okay, let's put a version of this on Xbox, on the PlayStation, right? Whether it's the crossplay situation, they decide, okay, they break and say, yes, let's put a crossplay between Xbox guys and PlayStation guys, right? So, as an incentive, right? I almost have a feeling that the same scenario happened with Lawbreaker, happened with PUBG. Maybe not as severe. I don't think they will do as well as it's doing on Xbox. Because most of PlayStation's demographic is gamers. Their whole idea and conception is we just play multiplayers on certain games. It's all about the single player campaign. When the reality of it is, we live in an era in gaming right now where multiplayer gaming is just as common and important as single player. The single player created more to obviously the hardcore, and this multiplayer created more to everyone or casuals in some cases. So you can't ignore that because it's revenue, obviously. If you make games that cater to both sides, whether it's the multiplayer fans or the single player fans, that's just a plus. If you add co-op campaign on a single player game, that's even better. So, this argument about, oh no, we don't support it. If it's single player and let's say multiplayer is very flawed. I still think if PUBG goes to PlayStation, it will not be as prominent and full, right, with your audience. I really don't. That would be the saddest part. After whole, let's say, would give in and cater to just be give everybody the opportunity to play the in-game experience. That's the other thing. If you can't get the game on another console, this is the perfect and absolute reason for you to go out. If you don't want to buy PC because obviously it's more affordable or easier way for you to access it, and buy an Xbox. If you own a PlayStation, you're an owner of a PlayStation only, to buy an Xbox and play the game. To necessarily buy it on the S or for the S or the S to play it, like Insomnatech put it. You made a very good point. This type of game is about fun, and it's not about looking realistic. So the most important element of that game. So should they sacrifice even on the X some graphical quality to help alleviate the game to progress, because it's one of the things that's binarily constantly uploading and reading, right? It's an endless map, right, or something like that. So what is it? And correct me if I'm wrong, right? Please. So that would make sense. I think it would make sense that they alleviate both consoles, or maybe give you better frame rates on the X, maybe, to make sure that the performance is better on both. So it'd be less hiccups, because I think that's what they do on PC. In order to get it running frames or the better performance, they lower the textures, they lower the details, they fiddle with it. So it makes sense, and I think that's what's the best direction for the game. Instead of worrying about visual quality. This game, again, it's not about visual, it's about fun. So it's great that it's doing successful. Like I said earlier, this absolutely cements that the preview program is a leading tool to any platform, whether it's Sony or Xbox, for you to be able to I don't know how correct. Um, your game for developers that are up and coming, just like Ghost of the Tail, right? You're supporting them, and with this revenue, it's not going to help them build a better game. The game's just going to get better and better and better. And then when they make a sequel, it's the game. So they'll can make even something even better if they make a sequel or something new in the future. Right? So there's no reason to really hate on it, even if you don't like Xbox, or even if you don't like the game or don't agree with me on Xbox. People got to understand that Microsoft is helping to build and polish the one on PC even further. The Bluehole developers themselves said it. They're helping us right now even make the PC version a better game. And on Xbox, using the Azure servers. So that's one big PCO, I guess, that the PlayStation 4 does not have. They don't have a dedicated server. So it's already giving this much trouble on a dedicated server like yours on an Xbox, on the X. How bad or how much better you think it'll run on a PlayStation 4? It's only peer-to-peer. It might be catastrophic. It might be worse. We don't know. So you say, hey, I don't think it's well deserved. I think Bluehole deserves it. They're being respectful to everybody there, and they're up and coming. They need to make sure they take care of their team and create a development house and make further games in the future. If that means making deals with Xbox, they're helping them as well and keeping it on the console, then you can't hate them for it because they're starting out. And they mean well, right? Maybe the next game platform, fine. But Microsoft is not just saying put it here, they're helping them because they care about them growing and helping the platform. It's all Microsoft is always knows how to make deals to help with games that they know are popular and in demand at the moment. And they did it with Minecraft.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Stupid and ignorant, and I think they made that money back.
Well, it's on every single like figure. I mean, like they made the money back on that one. I think with this one, like I reckon, it is definitely a labor of love, and they know how much the fans will resonate with it. Because, like I said, like it is known as the shooter console, like because a lot of people do play shooters on it. So it was just a good fit. You know what I mean? It was a really good fit.
It is,
So,
and they have them. So it makes sense. They have more.
Andy, you're swamping out Hebot. What are you doing? Sort him out, Del. For goodness sake.
Oi, hobo, you drunk?
Can I? You know what? Can I say something real quick about PUBG? Even though I don't have it, can I jump in real quick?
You certainly may.
Yeah.
Well, even though I don't have the game, I've been watching it very closely, and like Dell said, I've been watching the streams. I'll tell you, some of the streams that I've been watching, I mean, it's better than watching anything on cable. I mean,
It's tense, man. Yeah.
oh my goodness, I some of the heartiest laughter that has come out of my mouth within the past month has been from watching PUBG matches. I mean, they're just hilarious. So with that being said, I just want to chime in really quick on the quote unquote hate that Bluehole has been getting from various outlets, and specifically whether or not they are taken by surprise with it. I would like to believe that when they decided to go all in with Microsoft, I would like to believe that that was one of the things that they went in with their eyes wide open on.
Yeah.
You know, of course, with them just being on PC and on Steam, you know, again, like Drew said, you know, they were the belle of the ball, so to speak. But then the minute they show up on Xbox, all of a sudden, oh well, there's a problem with this, and oh well, they're not that good, and oh the game is laggy, and oh, you know, well, okay, again, it was announced that this was not a completed game. At
It even
best, it was
says it
an
at the beginning when you play it.
Yeah, right. I mean, it says it on the description in the store, and then let's be honest, you're getting the game from the preview program.
Mm.
I mean, the definition of the preview program, when Microsoft announced the preview program, they stated everything within the preview program, and I'm saying preview program repeatedly on purpose. The fact that it's the preview program means that it's not finished. How many games are in the preview program right now that have been in the program for well over a year?
Yeah, there's been quite a few. I mean,
yes,
I had I bought. Yeah, we happy few I bought as soon as it first hit the preview, and it's coming out of it soon, and that's been over a year. And I'm waiting for it to be finished and like fixed so I can fully play it through. What I did play, fantastic game by the way, crazy. But yeah, at the end of the day, it did have its issues. They were building it like from scratch, really, in a way. You only had a little like bit of map that you could actually use and stuff. So yeah,
exactly. And see, and that's the point. You see, people a lot of times, despite the fact that everything is listed right on the front, when you boot the game up, it states that it's not a finished game. Everything that has been all the publications, that it's not a finished game. However, you've got people who, number one, just want something to complain about. And the fact that they're paying money for it, they figure that, oh, well, if I'm paying my money, then it shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Well, okay, if it wasn't visible, if they weren't upfront with it in saying that, hey, this is a game in progress, this is a work in progress, okay, maybe then that would be a valid argument.
Like Street Fighter, for instance, maybe.
Oh, well, yeah,
good point.
We won't even look. There are games littered throughout history where that was the case. The first thing that comes to mind for me is Superman 64, but you know,
oh god,
like
yeah, that was yeah.
Bring the show down by elaborating on that. But you know, that was purely. I mean, that was supposed to be a finished, dare I say, AAA product. And as far as I'm concerned, that game deserves to be in the same closet with E.T. the game on the old Atari 2600.
With the reboot of Duke Nukem. Oh god, that was crap.
Well, there's that too. Yeah, you know. But the point my main point that I want to make is that I really think that Bluehole and Drew made some very valid points regarding the subject, but I keep thinking that Bluehole may not be as devastated as Drew thinks they might be.
Not with all that money they aren't.
Well, you know, and see, there's that. So of course, there's the financial aspect on how well they're doing. I think, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if all the hate that they've been receiving from those who I would dare say are not Xbox gamers, from the gaming press, from those on the PlayStation platform, even from those who are just diehard PC gamers.
Yeah,
I would
PC
say-
games saying on it.
I would say that the hate that Bluehole has been receiving from those sectors of the gaming community, I think may actually motivate them to go with Microsoft, as far as if Microsoft is really trying to influence them to say, hey, you know what? Why don't you just like let us buy you, and then everything will be all good, and you have carte blanche to do whatever you want to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have unlimited resources. I think if anything, all this hate that's coming from outside forces could very well push them into like just coming into the Microsoft fold completely. I wouldn't be surprised, especially from the PlayStation community. It wouldn't surprise me if their vitriol and the fact that they're just hating nonstop I wouldn't be surprised if it actually has the reverse effect. Instead of it saying, oh, well, I guess we got to hurry up and make a port for the PlayStation. Nope. I think there's a good possibility that it may actually cause the opposite to happen. And Bluehole just might say, you know what, screw you guys. We're just, since Microsoft is showing us all this love, okay, yeah, let's sign on the dotted line and make it official.
Well, at the end of the day, like, you just got to look at, like, basically lawbreakers. Do they support these type of games? Do they? Sorry, pardon me language again, but you know what it is?
You're right.
They're not multiplayer gamers. I mean, yeah, fair enough, they do play some third-party multiplayers. Yeah, that's it. But when it comes to, like, like certain types of games, there's just no audience there. They prefer single player. They even admit it.
Yeah, they do bang on a lot about exclusives, don't they?
No, based on the numbers, Call of Duty.
They bang on so much about exclusives, but they never seem to actually support them. Even the good ones, they don't support them.
I know certain people who do have a PS4 that don't buy the exclusives; they just buy the third party, like the shooters and stuff like that, and they do play them. Even though I don't know how they manage on the network, to be honest with you, but it's because they say they've always had PlayStation, they'll stick with it. But they're not really interested in any exclusives. They just play certain games like FIFA, or they'll play like COD, or and that's it. And they'll only play those two type of games. Some people just want it for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, personally, the biggest issue isn't their network, the PlayStation Network, is that sodding Mickey Mouse controller.
Oh God, yeah.
I hate it. And me and Andy and Bowen, the Welsh gamer, I mean, we've all had experiences of trying to play a game that we were queued up for over an hour.
It feels weird, like trying to play a shooter with that controller.
Yeah, it just you just don't feel like you've got a grip of it.
I feel a segue coming on.
Yeah. I mean, let's move on. I mean, we're getting towards the end now. So, Andy, you haven't had a chance to speak about PUBG yet, mate. I mean, we all know what your driving skills are like.
Andy, was that you in the motorcycle? Be honest. We won't rank.
No. That was dead on the motorbike, but Andy's 4x4 and he has trouble. So, but no, I mean, he's enjoying it as much as everybody else. I mean, Andy, I mean, the last bit for tonight. I mean, what are your thoughts on PUBG and how it plays? Have you enjoyed it? The hate it's been getting, just the general PUBG stuff.
I can confirm, no, it was not me on the bike. Yeah, that's it. The driving skills are a bit lame. I have to agree there, Chris. Just me though, just me. I just want to go back to E3 when it was announced, and no one was saying how rubbish and poor it looked then, did they?
Well, they didn't really when it was on PC either, did they? It wasn't. What did when it was on PC? Did Digital Foundry actually do a performance video for it?
Nope.
No idea. I don't watch.
Not on any of the patches. Like I've searched through their archives, and I wanted to make sure because like Drew brought it up in a video like Welsh Dragon, like, and I even confirmed it with him and said they did not like do any performance test on one of the patches on the PC at all.
They've done every one. They've done every one, I think.
On the Xbox they have.
Yeah.
So proof's to the pudding right there. You know what I mean? It's just shows you. So
you know, my theory just on that whole DF thing is I believe that the big wigs at Digital Foundry probably got a few nasty emails from Sony. Because, you know, no, I'm very serious. Because, you know, ever since the head of Digital Foundry got that all expense paid trip to Microsoft headquarters, and you know they've been raving about about the Scorpio for months, and when the Scorpio first hit the market, the first few batches of games, Digital Foundry was all, I mean, it was a love fest.
Yeah, especially for Shadow of War. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, even their comparison videos.
Yeah.
Even the comparison videos that they were doing, where you know, Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro, same two games running side by side, and I mean, you know, it was no contest. And so I firmly believe it. I can't back it up. I got nothing. I got no documentation, but it's just a gut feeling that somebody at Sony was like, now look, you know, we've let this go on long enough.
Yeah.
You know,
we give you the clicks. Yeah, basically, we give you the clicks. Yeah. We made
2
you.
weeks.
We can destroy you. There you go.
That's it. That's all I want to say about that.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I haven't even finished yet.
Oh no! And I was talking away, and I had myself muted. What's that all about?
To be fair, I didn't realise I wasn't muted before.
Oh dear.
But,
anyway,
but going back
to you.
But going back to me, yeah, it's my time now. My time.
Oh, our bad. Sorry.
Shut up.
I've got enough time to make a brew. Then I'll be back in the second.
Yeah, you do that, mate. I liked when it came out at E3. I looked at it and I thought, yeah, that seems right. Multiplayer game, cool, right? And then afterwards, oh, it looks rubbish. It looks crap. You've got gaming media sites on Facebook picking the worst versions of it and saying it's the Xbox One version. It's like, it's not a complete analysis of which one's which, really, is it? You know, you're meant to be showing it off all over, not just pick the lower denominator of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how people are like saying, "Oh, Fortnite's better" and all that, when there are people who played Fortnite and now are playing PUBG. Some of the people who played Fortnite, who've gone to PUBG, who I've been playing with, I played with over Christmas, are actually casual gamers. So it just depends on the type of casual gamer that's going to pick it up. People are just set in their ways with Call of Duty games and all that, to be honest. You know, they just want to, as the Canadians say, just want to shoot the shit. And COD's a great game for that. It is, isn't it? People
that's
just
my new favourite saying. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, they get my Canadian mate says it all the time, and right, and it's obvious that the hardcore, as you would call it, have taken up PUBG. You know, it's like people like Battlefield, and they've probably gone to PUBG. I know Steve's a Battlefield guy.
Yeah, I love Battlefield. Yeah.
But I think it's absolutely ridiculous for a company like Digital Foundry, or as I call them, Boring Foundry,
They are done in their videos, aren't they? Their voices are horrendous.
I'll tell you what, we either need to like email them and said, look guys, we're gonna take you out on a night out and get you seriously drunk and party because you sound boring. You've got the personality. Their personality is so horrendous.
Personality.
They're not even. They don't even sound positive in what they're doing.
That main guy with the glasses, like I think he has got glasses with like the baldy head. I'm sure he definitely collects stamps or like train spots. I'm sure. There's lots of type as well with the cagoule on. You know what I mean, with the little book. You can see it.
I mean, I think
it's his last name is Ledbetter.
That's so.
What I don't get about it all, is why I need 3 blokes in their 60s to tell me if I'm going to enjoy a game or not. That's
irrelevant.
That's a very apt point, to be honest. Like, because yeah.
I mean, these are guys that are, like, I'm sure very much like me, were there for the Atari days and all the early days, and we weren't going on about resolutions and all that sort of thing in those days. Why all of a sudden is it? Oh well, this is running. I mean, yeah, we've brought this up earlier. I mean, they made a massive thing about bloody resolution.
Resolution makes you a better gamer.
Yeah, when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One dropped, and there was like a 100p difference between those two systems, then it was a big thing. But now the X is out, and there's a massive difference. There's not one game that's come out on the PlayStation 4 Pro that's hitting native 4K, not one. And that was a post that was put up in the Project Xbox group last week. It was a full bloody rundown of every single game and what the resolutions were on both systems. And that Pro has not hit one at native 4K. But now the Xbox One X has got the better, resolution. It's all of a sudden not the thing, and now it's about the games. Well, I mean, it is bullshit. There's a lot of bias in the media. And I'll tell you something. I mean, the heading of the podcast says it all. This year is going to be about the games, and Phil Spencer's not been sat on his ass the last 12 months. He knew the X was coming. He's got the X out. This year is going to be about games, and now is the time that Sony really have got to start worrying.
Oh, mate, after playing Sea of Thieves, I cannot wait for Sea of Thieves. That is so much fun, that game. And State of Decay, Crackdown 3. We're definitely going to get another Forza this year, that's without shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and I will not be surprised about that Fable announcement either.
That one seems like it's quite credible. But there's also as well like what's happening with like Coalition, because they're apparently doing a new IP now. A lot of people have been trying to bring it back and saying, oh, they're working on something like Perfect Dark, but no, they're saying new IP, and they have stated that on their site. It is a new IP, and Perfect Dark isn't a new IP. So I really want to know what they're doing. I think the guys from Playground Games, because like obviously they said they're trying to do something a bit what's it called? I don't even know the frigging name of it because it's on the PS4. The Dawn game, whatever, with the
Until Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn. Too many Dawns anyway. And enough about my weekend. Anyway, basically it's I've lost my point now.
Hang on, he had a point.
I did have a point.
Coalition and
Turn 10. Sorry, thank you. Thank you, Insomnatech. You reminded me. Yeah, basically, with Playground Games, they were advertising for to make an open world RPG action game in the vein of Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, that could very well be the Fable game.
Could be anything.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, it could, but like there seems to be a lot of whispers and stuff about Fable. Did
you hear a few? You know when they announced that? I mean, I actually showed it to Ebot a few months ago. There were some 2 British guys who were actually really, really sour about Microsoft announcing that they want developers to make like a Horizon Zero Dawn game, right? Now they're really like annoyed with that, but a lot of people in on the Sony side are always going on about, oh, we need more story-driven games and stuff like that, and it's like, well, but if we make them, you're going to complain that they want to make games similar to the ones that Sony have got, and it's like, well, what do you want? You can't
Make up
please
your
everybody.
mind, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think one thing that Phil has listened to, and I think it's the reason why the X seems to have sold a lot better than the normal one, and the S in Japan is that there is going to be Japanese games coming. There is already some here. You know what I mean? If you look in the store, there is more Japanese games in the store. So because he did go over there for a meeting, remember? So you know what I mean? He is still trying to, like, you know, get something to gel, and he's talked to people over there, and there's been word that, like, you know, they are getting their checkbook out and saying, listen, we want some games. So you know what I mean? It just reminded me today, because, like, somebody, I was reading an article and they were talking about the backwards compatibility thing. They said it was on Kotaku, which was really strange that they were praising it, which was basically saying it's really good to go back to a game that I've not played, which was Lost Odyssey, and that was by the guys who, like, basically made Final Fantasy. Like, if anybody didn't know, like, the main one of the main guys who made Final Fantasy made that game. He wanted to make another game. They wouldn't actually let him, Square Enix, and basically he got helped out by Microsoft at that time, because they wanted to bring JRPGs to the actual, like, 360. So they made that, and they also made Blue Dragon. So
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some type of announcement, like at E3 probably, that they've actually got a JRPG. I mean, we're going to get Black Desert Online soon anyway. That's a JRPG. You know what I mean? It's an MMO, but it's still Japanese orientated. Like, you know, it is made by Japanese developers, I think.
There's another one. There's another one coming out this year, isn't there? That was at E3 last year. That's a Japanese RPG. I can't remember what it's called.
Code Vein.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the one where you're like a vampire. Yeah, basically
That's right,
use the
yeah.
blood. It's like Dark Souls, apparently. Like, but like you gotta, like, suck the blood of your enemies through your, like, fingers, like, that have got, like, pinned on. It looks pretty cool, that game, to be honest. I know Dorian from the Mansion, like, big shout out to him as well. Like, I know he's looking forward to that. He said he likes the look of that. And it's the anime style, you know what I mean? I think that's why, you know, we've obviously Dragon Ball Fighter Z coming out, like, in the next couple of weeks. Like, yeah, that looks fantastic in anime style. So I'd like to see that type of style a game come, like an RPG, but actually done in the style of an anime. That'd be a personal one for me, like, because I don't really play them like I used to on the PlayStation when it used to be Final Fantasy and everything else. Like, but if they made one that looked like the anime, like, or like an anime, I would play it. You know what I mean? So that changed my mind. Anyway, bit tangential to the point. But there you go.
Anyway, I think that, guys, is we've just gone over the 2 hours. Can you
2.5 hours, yeah.
2.5 hours, yeah. I think we started about 12 minutes past, didn't we? But
oh, right, okay.
we've lost Hebot as well. I don't know where Hebot's gone. He must have lost connection.
He was our roving reporter, so
he was
he's
our roving
probably,
reporter.
like,
He was out on the road.
got some big story somewhere.
He's probably been abducted by some ponies somewhere, and we'll see him next time.
Hopefully, well,
hopefully, we need to do something about his connection as well, because we had real trouble hearing him at points during that. He's always got such great things to say, and I always struggle to hear them all the time because of his connection. So we need to look at that and see.
Maybe if he gets one like the in-ear bud, like, headphones out that you can use for Bluetooth, maybe that might work.
Yeah,
he uses his phone, like, in the app.
Yeah, I mean, Sherman's using his phone, and you know, all right, he goes quiet at points, but you can still hear him clearly.
No, that's just all of us talking over him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now that's just you. That's just you, Steve.
You actually
Well,
interrupted him then. No, sorry. I just did. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to make sure. But I mean, you guys have been able to hear me clearly for the most part, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
Oh, okay.
Something else that Ross has just brought up as well in the comment section. Black Desert Online is actually a Korean game.
Oh, sorry, Korean. I do apologize. Good. Like, notice on that actually. Ross, thanks for that. I knew it was from like a not Middle Eastern, but an Eastern developer. I wasn't quite sure whether it was a Japanese one or a Chinese developer that actually did it, because I know that they do have a huge culture of like the MMOs and the CAFs. I mean, they've got literally people dying in some of the CAFs over there, which is crazy. But yeah, thanks for that bit of information. I didn't actually know it was from a Korean studio. That's good. Well, that in fact that ties in, because like Bluehole's Korean as well. Like
Yes.
Bluehole's who's doing PUBG, so they're starting to enter into like the game space over here. So by all means, like if they can start bringing some games, like they do have a lot of. I don't know what it is. I think they mainly rely on the cast, because I think the gaming systems are quite expensive over there, but it's not as expensive to go into the cafes and actually like play there. So
yeah, they do have a lot of that style of thing over there, don't they?
Oh yeah. The massive on Dota and everything, aren't they? So like, you know what I mean, and League of Legends, like, so. Yeah, but
yes,
nice one. I did not know that, Ross. Thank you very much for that. I did not know
anyway, so there we go, guys. I think we'll call it a night of that. That is the first MicroPod of 2018, the first of many as well. It's going to be more regular. I think every 2 weeks is a must go, unless there's some urgency that's stopping one of us from being there.
We can get someone to fill in.
Yeah, we'll be doing every 2 weeks.
Welsh is always about. He can fill in.
He's always hanging around waiting for a podcast to hop onto.
Like Oliver Twist, man. Please talk about some more.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, guys, if you want to say your goodbyes first, if we're going Insomnatech, I haven't heard you for a while, mate. If you want to say your goodbyes, give your channel a shout out and tell them where to find you.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I like coming on here and talking games and Xbox. But yeah, it was a great time. You guys can find me over on YouTube /The Insomnatech, on Twitter, Mixer, Facebook, Twitch, all that /Insomnatech. But yeah, I had a great time. I can't wait to play PUBG more, because I'm liking that game, and I really want to get into it and see the new patch. But yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, great stuff. You'll have to send me your gamer tag over on Twitter, mate. And
yeah, everything's Insomnatech. Yeah, you can add me on Xbox Live too.
So do some MicroPod PUBG notes. That should be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, no, I mean, it's great having you on. It's great having you as a hopefully permanent member of the MicroPod. So we will continue to have you on as long as you'll pull up with us. So
yeah, thanks.
You must sit there thinking sometimes, what are these guys talking about?
No, I really like hearing everybody's opinions on different gaming related things. It's awesome.
Excellent. And Sherman, mate, the Sherminator, give yourself a shout out.
Well, first of all, once again, Happy New Year to everybody, to the MicroPod crew, to everybody over at Project Xbox, everybody at the mansion, everybody at Roscoe's Video. Yes, I'm the Sherminator, aka Technofunk on Xbox Live. That's TECHNOFUNGK. Just make sure you get that right. Once again, just just been way too long since we've done this. I've been fiending for a podcast, so I really appreciate, as always, being part of this crew. I was bragging on you guys earlier, as far as I do a lot of word of mouth as far as promoting the podcast, and I brag about you guys all the time. So and Chris, we had that conversation. I've even got my minister in my church listening. So you said,
yeah, exactly. And Dale's been cursing all night, for goodness sake.
All right, yeah, I do apologize then. Hey, at least it didn't blaspheme. So it's good. It's good.
I was going to keep watching doing this as well, so you can say goodbye as well. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he loves the show. He loves it, and honestly, that's a lot, because he's a PlayStation guy, but even he been like, oh, you know what? You guys have really got me considering getting the Xbox One X. So, you know, it's working. And actually, a lot of other people that I've talked to who listen to the podcast, you know, some of them already have an Xbox. A lot of them are all PlayStation. Got a few Nintendos, but they're all like right now, they're all seriously considering just going ahead and making that move, and specifically getting an Xbox One X. So I think whatever it is we're doing, it's kind of working a little bit.
I'd definitely say like one thing on that as well, like touching on that point, is if like there's anyone who's actually undecided, try and see if you can find a store that has the setup with the actual Xbox One X and the 4K TV, just to see, because it's really easy for us to big it up, but to actually see it is a completely different thing.
Yeah, you have to see. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, seeing is believing. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, agreed. So again, Chris, I just want to thank you. I know I do this all the time, but I'm very genuine about it. I really thank you for just asking me to be a part of this, because I take it as a huge compliment. So, definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made, because just the camaraderie that we all have. And Insomnatech, look, I'm just formally putting it out there. You got my vote. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thanks.
No, I mean, I know you keep saying it, and I keep saying that. At the end of the day, when I was planning this and when I was doing this, you were one of the first people I thought of when I wanted to do it. Andy, I knew I could get Andy on. I just bribed him with a bottle of Kraken, so I knew he was in.
Yeah, I haven't got a Kraken at all at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to...
I'm going to wait until Sea of Thieves comes out.
No, I mean, honestly, I mean, I like what you say. You talk sense, and that's why you're there. The same with Insomnatech. I mean, I watched some of his videos, and I thought, this guy is great. I need him on the show. And the rest of them. I mean, I've known Hebot and Del and Andy for a long time, so it was just a natural thing. I mean, God bloody hell, Del was on the original MicroPod when I first started it. That's a
hell yeah. I was in the group when it was actually called the MicroBox of X group.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, God, me.
Vain much?
No, it wasn't. No, it was called MicroBots.
Sorry. MicroBots of X. Yeah, sorry, I do apologise.
Oh, dear me. But no, it's awesome having you all on. Hebot, mate, I'm glad you come back in time to say goodbye. It'd be a shame if you didn't. Say goodbye, mate.
No, like always, it's an absolute pleasure. I just feel kind of like I'm shafting you guys, because unfortunately, since it's on a Saturday, every time it seems, because of the hour differences, I end up being on the road, and my quality of my sound may not always come in as good and clear, but I'm trying to work on that, so that when we do it, since it's only twice a month or once a month, that I can be home and do it off my PC or the laptop, so I can have better, obviously better sound quality and bring a better experience and quality of sound to the show and to, the program. It's an absolute pleasure, like always. It's nice to talk to you guys, because it's a breath of fresh air. I usually have to speak with my friends and other people in other podcasts, but we got to kind of get a little bit dirty and gritty, because we have to deal with a lot of trolls and hate and the bad side, the crumb side, if you will, of this gaming thing, which is kind of silly, because gaming was always been about having a good time and fun, and I don't see what's the problem with gamers from all platforms to discuss, but be respectful and be knowledgeable and have a lot of love for one another and camaraderie, like Sherminator said. You guys are all well-minded, well-versed, well-spoken, and you're a delight. You make it very fun to come in and you make it very easy for anyone because, you know, I've dealt with all types of people. And, you know, when I come here, you guys are generally make me feel like family and friends, and you show me the love. And I apologize, I can't always communicate through the chats. It's just I'm always back and forth, and getting attacked on Twitter, like I did the last 3 days. 1,200 comments at me. Then imagine because I agree, didn't agree with my you know, last video where I said, you know, for the Xbox community, not to damage control for Digital Foundry, because enough's enough. We can see it blatantly, and it's clearly there. The Redout developers are reaching out, taking even to the extent where they're making action, and for good reason, you know, because it's a defamation of character, and in this case, they discrediting them as developers. And then when we have all these other people that want to use an outlet for video games that they can trust, that they can go to, which there's not many to begin with, whether you're casual or hardcore, you want to go where you're going to get an information that at least you feel maybe to the honest and to the extent as it can. But what happens to Digital Foundry is that they always find a way to, like, well, this is good, but this still might be better for whatever reason. Like in the case, not remembering that what they did in the case of GTA, they made it superior because it had more grass. You see what I'm saying?
I remember that. That grass. The other one was RGM with the too much water. Oh my god.
That's right. It's like saying things like, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just an asinine way of doing things. And if that was the way they were doing things before, now when the proof is really in the pudding, so to speak, and you can actually blatantly see it from far away, close, and you from a mile, you can't make it up. You cannot change the narrative. You just can't. You're being disingenuous, basically. So how do you want your channel to grow with just people that follow you because they like when you favor just one side instead of you being honest about every platform, whether it's Nintendo, PlayStation, or Xbox? So, you know, like I said, it's not easy. So coming here is a breath of fresh air. I brought all that up, and I know it's a mouthful, but I promise that I'm working on it so that I can be home, so that you guys can enjoy my voice quality better, and I can make a better AAA quality program. And I apologize for that. But I love you guys, man. You guys are great people, man. You guys are great friends, you know? You really are. I mean, people may think that we're not friends outside of this, but we are. We talk, we'll say things to each other, and we'll give each other advice and even gift each other things if we need to. Right now, I'm still working on finding, you know, some Cuphead shirts to send to him, but I haven't found them.
I told you I'll buy. If you can find me one, I'll buy it. Like I want one. Like if you can.
Wait, hang on.
It's my pleasure. I want to send.
Hold on. Wait, this is the first. Why am I just now hearing about this?
What's going on?
Is this true?
Yeah. Like,
Which part?
Come on now.
You had a Cuphead.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a Cuphead shirt from Hot Topic because they got some amazing shirts, and I know he's into shirt.
All I want is some Twinkies. Where's my Twinkies? That's what I want.
Where's my Twinkies?
All I want.
Everyone loves a
Twinkie.
Oh God. Right. God.
Yeah.
I've got a thing about t-shirts like that PUBG one that I got. That was awesome. I love that t-shirt.
Sure.
Yeah, Dorian gave me props on that one and put it on his channel. Like he said, like, just look at the t-shirt. As like, and then he was in fact. Yeah, Andy brought it up. He said, "You doing the fonts?" And I didn't even realize. It's like,
yeah, you really were.
I was like, hey,
that should be your. That should be your.
I was feeling silly that morning, so that's why I was pulling the face and going, hey.
Have to
That was
be
the first thing I
sat
thought
there
about.
thinking, who's the Fonz? You know, you do realise you're showing your age by going on about the Fonz and stuff. We're supposed to be like in our 20s.
Yeah, you do watch Happy Days.
Hey,
watch Happy Days.
I know Happy Days.
Yeah, everybody remembers Happy Days, man.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
The Happy Days, Thursday, Friday. I just love the way you used to click and like the jukebox used to work.
I just think it's bollocks, mate. Who sings about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday being happy days? Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday are happy days.
Hey, mate, you didn't live in the 50s. You weren't there. You don't know.
I think he was actually.
It was a simpler time. You could go get a milkshake and hang out with your dudes and just.
It's more like thank God it's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the polite way of putting it.
That's the mantra now, yeah, because like it's basically work just takes over your life. So,
I just have to rewrite the song actually. Monday, Tuesday, gaming days. Wednesday, Thursday, gaming.
Oh man, do you know what? I'm gonna find a t-shirt company that prints like design the t-shirts. I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah.
Mine would be like Rick Ross, but every day I'm gaming.
I think we need to do that.
Every day I'm gaming.
On the back. Anyway, Del, come on. You got to say your goodbyes now. You got to say your goodbyes.
Why? What? Do you know something I don't? I mean, no, just yeah. I mean, we all have a good laugh. We all get on. Like it's a great group of people that we have, and it's just easy to bounce off everybody, and it does help that we're actually generally just passionate about like what it's all about. The games. That's it. You know what I mean? And that's, to be honest, what we always talk about. I mean, yeah, there might be some mentions of maybe resolution here, it's like, like stuff like that, but that's not because like we really want to bring up as much. It's because like of what's actually like concurrent with the like way the media's depicting things and everything like that. And it's got to be discussed. It has to be. So, but other than that, like it's just about the games. That's it. One game I'm really interested in, it's really making me lean towards the Switch, I've got to admit, is the Mario and the Rabbids game, because it's a turn-based game. And
I thought you meant a game was infuriating you and you wanted to switch it off. Sorry, I just lost that then.
No. I was like that game. Like when I saw it on Ubisoft stage, like at E3, last year, I thought, oh no way, it's turn-based as well. I absolutely love XCOM. I love any type of turn-based game, and that for me was just like super cute, really funny, and it's turn-based. So yeah, I'm swinging towards that. But anyway, long story short, yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have a lie down and. It's just been
in the
Hang on, Hebot saying something.
Yeah, what were you saying then, Hebot? Sorry, dude.
I was asking the boys, so since you're heavy on the kind of like slapstick and over the top comedy, did you like the latest entry on the South Park series, or you didn't like the Stick of Truth, or did you?
Oh yeah. I've got the Stick of Truth. Yeah, I've got the Stick of Truth, man. Oh wow, that game. I do not know how that made it past the RGB, like the other sensors. I really don't know how that made it.
Don't say that. I bought that for my son.
You bought it for your son. How old's your son?
15 he'd have been at the time.
Oh, he'll be all right. It's very tongue in cheek, that game.
He's just finished the fractured butthole that I got him for Christmas as well. So.
Oh yeah. I tell you what though, the fight with the hookers, or the one where you go in the church and the priest in the back. Oh man.
What he told me it was flower arranging. What's this?
Seriously, the stuff they got away with in that game, I do not know how. But
what difficulty did he put it on?
It's South Park, you know what I mean? They've always been tongue in cheek. Every single episode of it has. But yeah, that game. Oh wow, it's so funny but wrong. It's like the stuff you shouldn't laugh at, but it's like, yeah. Oh my god.
Difficulty-wise, he'd have had it on the standard or he'd have upped it one. He's pretty damn good on those games, so I brought him up well.
To be honest, it can be quite a challenge. It is like I say, because it is turn-based. Strategy to it.
I think he said he had one achievement left to get on it. I think that's what he said. So yeah,
nice.
Done too bad.
Oh right.
Really?
He's a he's a good gamer. I brought him up well. As soon as he didn't have a rattle, I gave him an Xbox controller.
You didn't give him the juice, did you? How did he hold it? How did he pick it up?
Dear me.
I can't believe they're coming back out now, aren't they? Like, for what is it, £75 or $75?
Yeah, something like that. Was it $69.99? Something like that. Yeah. The juice.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I'm getting one. I want one badly.
It's like having a driving wheel. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's basically the same.
I've just funny enough, I've just ordered the S controller for my original Xbox actually, because I've only got a Duke at the moment. I just find it too big from going from the Xbox One controller, so I just ordered an S.
Oh my god! Yeah, I could, that was a beast. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
was
a
not
monster
only
controller.
like fun to play games with, but it was also fun to chase people with, like, and swing it like a mace. Kill someone.
Oh god. Anyway, Andy back, mate. Over to you to say your goodbyes, mate.
I'm going to keep it a little bit short.
Sorry.
I like being here. I like hanging out with you guys on the podcast and chatting in live parties, etc. I'm going to add Insomnatech this week. I think I was thinking, should I add his username? I don't know his username for
His name's
Xbox.
Yeah, it's Insomnatech
Now I
on
know.
Xbox.
It's Insomnatech.
But I want to go back to what Hebot was saying.
You know what I mean? It's like my Delpoi is everywhere. Like, that's for me, like, all me IDs. So yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, like, this week has been quite eventful for me and Hebot, because we've been replying with intelligence, with logic, and doing our flipping homework, right? And these people still can't deal with it. And I'm going to say this: some people really need to buy a dictionary, because they keep making up their own meanings for a lot of these words. Now, like the word bias, right?
Thief.
Bias is when you're unfair to a particular thing over something else, right? Unfair. Yeah, right. Digital Foundry create bias with their stupid ass analysis. I mean, Wolfenstein 2. They said the Xbox One version, not the X, was the worst version, right? What do you think that's going to do? It's going to create some stupid media outlet creating an unfair opinion based on it not being 60 frames a second, like majority of the time. It's complete, utter rubbish. The game is perfectly fine. It just has a lower frame rate because the hardware is the lesser of the competition. And now we got the X, and it's on form. People go, "Oh no, there's no media bias. It's clickbait." But when you got clickbait, and there's more clickbait towards one system than the other, it's a bias. There's no question about it. So stop with the crap. Open your eyes. Get out your cave, because it probably needs cleaning right now. It's probably dirty, because I know my cave's dirty. Right?
I'm glad you said that before me.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. This year, the PUBG, what PUBG has done this year and the end of last year, was showing people that gaming is about fun. On top of anything else, you can have realistic graphics, you can have an emotional story, you can have anything. But if you're not having fun, you're not enjoying it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, you know, people came up this week and said to Hebot, mentioned a game that sold like 2 million to a system that's bragging about over 70 million consoles sold. Now, 2 million next to 73 something million consoles sold is a joke.
Right.
You know,
I mean, the percentage there, you're talking about what, maybe 0.02% or 0.2%?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Delpoi, it's like 0.8. It's not even
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Even 1%.
So that pretty much says that exclusives don't really matter. All they are is just an identity. And there's nothing wrong with having an identity. I'd rather have one system have its own and the other have its own, rather than just having a console that has exactly the same identity. Because Sea of Thieves, what are people saying about Sea of Thieves? They're saying it looks really, really fun. A good laugh.
Mate,
same reason why we're playing PUBG.
It's so fun. It is so. Wait until you play the beta, like on the 24th. Honestly, it's so much fun.
Now we need to get together when we're not doing a podcast. Us guys on the panel, we need to get together if we've pre-ordered or whatnot, and we need to have a good game of Sea of Thieves or any other game that we've all got. You know, we need to.
Well, definitely.
Because it was
there's nothing more fun than being a pirate, honestly.
Yeah.
I've been on the alpha pretty much since it started for Sea of Thieves, and it's just such good fun. And the amazing thing is as well, I mean, all of the months I've been playing that game, you then find out that half the stuff you haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, there's
you never play you never play your hand in a poker game, do you?
No.
And that's what's great about Xbox.
We're talking Rare here. I mean, this is an amazing company that's now had all the constraints of the Kinect taken away from them. Just go off and do something, and they've come up with Sea of Thieves. I can't wait for it.
Just getting on the boat and actually going out into that sea, having to plot the course, work out the maps, basically work together to get the sails right to hit the wind. The sea is amazing. The storms, everything. It's just unreal. Like when I played it. Oh yeah, definitely.
Just get on. Just all of you get on the top of the boat and then just get your instruments out. And I'm not being.
Oh yeah, you can all jam together and you all make a song. You actually make a song all together.
You can throw up in a bucket and throw it at people. That's just weird, isn't it?
if you
sounds like a nod on the pub with anti-Mac. But
if you've got your pint, you can actually, like, if you do it like I did, I down man in one, and basically you start getting the wobbles and everything starts going like from side to side because you're pissed. And you try to get on the boat. Me and all, like, I think it was Sean and a few others. We all did the challenge to try and see who could get down like towards the boat and actually get on it all drunk. We were all falling off the sides of the thing. It's so much fun. It really is.
No, it's definitely going to be one we have to get.
The idea in the Nintendo 64 was a game called Dream. That's what they wanted to do, but I guess it was either the limitation of the console or Nintendo really didn't believe in the project. I'm not really sure. But, it's a good thing that Microsoft actually gave them an opportunity to do the game because they connect and Viva Pinata and all the other projects, but they did it in their own free will, and that's the misconception a lot of people have. It wasn't they were constrained. Microsoft said, "What do you want to do?" And that's what they did. Nuts and bolts. That's a great game too. That a lot of people didn't play because they didn't like the different changes that they added to the Banjo series with the crafting of the vehicles.
My son actually really liked that one. Actually, that was probably his favorite one.
A lot of people like downplayed it and said it wasn't that great. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, Michael? I'm talking about the non-gamers that call themselves gamers. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Absolute pleasure to be here again. It's great to be here in 2018. I hope everybody had a fantastic new year. Thanks to the panel. It is always a joy to do this show.
I forgot to say bye, by the way.
Oh, what? You didn't say goodbye?
No, I didn't say bye. Hang on.
Do you know what? It took half an hour to get these goodbyes out. Oh my God.
Hang on.
We'll start sending goodbyes at the start of the next podcast.
Wait for it.
Wait, he's got it. It's
goodbye from Andy Mac. Right, that's it. Let's do it.
Right, where was I? For everybody that's
John Boy. Good night, Granddad. Night, John Boy.
For everybody that actually stayed here long enough to listen to all of the good boys, we do appreciate it.
You're a trooper if you do.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate doing the show with these guys anyway, and I certainly appreciate, as do all of them, the fact that you guys stay along and listen to the show live and interact. The ones that don't, we'd still appreciate the fact that you take the time to listen to it. I know Sega Forever was looking forward to the show tonight, so I'm sure he'll be listening. Yeah, I mean, a big thank you to everybody. Michael Lugo, thank you for subbing tonight. It is appreciated, and all the regulars in the content.
Monkey Punch.
Yeah.
Hey.
all the regulars in the comments. DJ Sing, Elite Gaming, Mr. Kima, DNX, Mojo Blues, Chris Hughes, Craig Simmons, It is always appreciated.
Oh,
You
great,
guys
cool.
interacting. Yeah, it is always.
Craig puts out content on DX, so yeah, cool, man.
Dean 78 as well.
Yeah,
Hi.
I said Dean.
Oh, sorry, have we?
And Iron Lord's podcast is in the comment section as well. Hello to you guys. It is appreciated. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we do this because we enjoy it. And if people listen to us, want to listen to our banter, then even better. So it is appreciated. We will be back on the 27th of January, all being well in the fact that everybody can make it. So we will be back in 2 weeks' time at the same time, 8 p.m. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.